Don't you worry, Wells.
And we're live. Hello and welcome to episode 36 of Quant Gang, Millionaire Crabs. I'm Matty Allen with Karim the Dream, WhalesOnly, and Super Shark Dan. How's it going, guys?
Bang, bang.
Great, man. Doing fine, man.
Mm-hmm. Having a blast, having a great life. So happy to be here as always. Wouldn't miss a Quant Gang episode, no matter what.
So there's a lot of news today, I guess.
What happened?
Dan will probably be right back. His internet probably dropped.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Matty.
The price is crashing, but I think everything is going to be okay.
Price is crashing? What price is that?
Where? It's so funny to me because it's
what price is crashing?
Yeah, right. It's similar.
I'm trying to wait. No, honestly, what's crashing?
Hex down like 8% today.
That's crashing.
No, there was a month.
I didn't think so.
There was a.
If it's crashing, we need to recalibrate people's thinking because that's definitely not crashing. This is crypto.
So that's definitely on the agenda for today. Oh, and then what other news do we have? I think Etherscan is listing Hex as the #1 token now.
Oh, I wonder how that happened.
All right, because we have been for a while. More receipts are showing us some of the truth, and it's kind of like that joke that I briefly saw on Twitter about the coin market crap stuff. Because I was catching an old stream from Wells like 3-4 days ago. I saw that, and even the thing today, people need to understand. Like, it was I think I saw it from the Hex trading. It was a market sale, 10 million Hex. I think that's amazing because Wells can you sell literally $4 or $5 million, and then all you get is like 8% or 8 to 10%, whatever that is, small slippage, and it's already trending back up. Any other markets on any of those other coins, this thing would have probably go to zero before you even cashed out like $1 million or $2. So nowhere near that. But again, Hexican, quick math. It's a function of the system. Okay, this is a wallet.
And so we'll get into that, Karim.
Oh, correct.
I wanted to alert you guys that the title of this episode is Millionaire Crabs. Welcome to Quant Gang.
And this is from Matty Allen of Hex Therapy Live. After Richard's done with stream, I hope it's still hours away. The new Hex Quant and I will go live to show off a new chart for Hex USD price appreciation with staked interest factored in.
Also, testnet is live. Yay.
Yes, there's also that. And then also a couple updates about markets and then DXY, which we're going to be talking about as well. And a cool tweet from somebody that reminded me of a good Hex Quant Gang stream that we had from, back in the day, which is good, especially for the new people. So they get to have that knowledge as well, because it's playing out pretty much beautifully. And of course, we go live and then, the price is pumping back up, which is pretty cool. Hitting that oversold. So how you guys
doing? I actually don't have any news or anything. I just missed you guys. It's been more than a month that I didn't consume any Hex content. So I wanted to talk to you all again. So that's why I came.
Perfect. Yeah, you be out there living your best life. That's right.
I've been kind of busy. I spent the past month balling on every single level that I could possibly be balling at. Literally, moved to the best city I could move in, bought myself a house. I received the title deed a few days ago. So finally received that shit. I actually own something in this world. I've been hitting the gym every day, fucking eating healthy. I've been eating seafood and shit, eating 4 times a week salmon and stuff like this, getting all those things that ALLin is encouraging people to take, omega 369.
Omega 369.
Yeah, I've been eating avocados and broccolis and shit, and I've been liking it too. So yeah, eating healthy, hitting the gym every day, bought myself a house.
Yeah.
Bro, all the people I'm hanging with are millionaires minimum at this point. That's crazy. I even met like a billionaire here. I expected Richard to be the first billionaire I meet, like in the Hex meetup in Vegas, but he didn't come. So I guess the first billionaire I met is over here. I tried to pitch crypto to him, like in general. Obviously, he's not interested. He makes too much. But he told me that his brother, who is also a billionaire, he's into crypto. And so he told me like, hey, he's very interested in crypto. I'm gonna link you up to him, and you're gonna love chatting to each other. So if his brother is actually into crypto, and I can like just imagine if I can pitch Hex to him, like we're talking about Arabic billionaires here. So he actually likes Hex. He's gonna throw around like some 100 millions. If you see the Hex price fucking double in one candle, that's me right there. That's me that
Good
managed
work.
to onboard a billionaire. So
Well,
hey,
here's the
we'll
good news
see
for
how it
you.
Good
goes.
lead.
Here's the good news for you. I want you to remember, it's definitely not the last that you're going to meet, and we've been lucky to meet a few here. The secret is it's all repetition. They always say that first because they don't know until they dive into the content and what we talk about. Trust me, they're all coming running, but you got to be careful too.
Because I'm imagining that if the second one that's actually into crypto, he's gonna understand Hex, he's gonna probably enjoy it, probably gonna invest, and then the first brother that I met that is not interested, he's gonna see his brother making money, he's gonna get interested, and then he's gonna FOMO in like later on. So that's what I'm expecting.
I remember there's always a time and a place. You know, one of the events I'm looking forward to is actually tomorrow, which we're gonna have one of our biggest meetup in terms of networking events. So it's just make sure you understand how to bring it to people, especially at this high level net worth, because again, you know, you're talking to people that see deal flow every day or every week. So, you know, sometimes you meet Bill and they'll just invest into whatever you're doing just because they like you, you know what I mean? Or because you have good energy or because you don't come in as, you know, desperate or whatever it might be. But then once you get an opportunity to sit them down for at least 30 minutes to an hour and you can break it down, because they understand usually quick math, right? Because that's how they got to where they are. It's going to be a no-brainer. It's just make sure to find that time and place and then have that you know, liquid focus so you can just like break it down for them.
I'm trying to organize something like this, like a little, not a date, but like, you know, like
Little pro tip for you, Dan, and while you're out there talking to these so-called billionaires, if they're actually billionaires that made money because they're smart, the only thing you need to show them are those two no correlation charts.
Yes.
Straight up. Straight up. You don't need to show them shit else. 100%. Nothing else. If they're quantitatively adept. If they're not and they're just regular ass dudes, don't waste your time and good luck.
We'll see. I haven't met him yet.
That's what I'm saying. If you know, if that's an if, because again, for people to have this quantity of money, it can't, you know, you can't assume it's by mistake. So approach the situation like if the person is mathematically adept, don't try to insult them. And that's really the best way to go. Because like I say all the time, if a person is a professional investor, that's number one, correlation. Am I putting my money in the same piss bucket that I already have it in? Defeats the purpose, right? So that's number one.
Absolutely. Another thing important to remember is that there's different type of billionaires in terms of you got some people who made the money, you have some people who inherit the money. You understand? It's been in the family for a while, things like that. And then what kind of industry that they're in, because some of them, you know, even Warren Buffett, right? They'll stick to the lane that they know. So you gotta keep that in mind. This is the reason why you got to find the right time and the right place and be able to bring that to their attention. And sometimes they'll say, hey, my team is going to review it or this or that, the third. And then when they say, okay, this is good, then they'll then invest the time and place. Because, again, they're already rich, right? So they're not that desperate to get to that phase. But one of the best way is, again, repetition is the mother of all skills. You know, you stay hanging out with them, living in the same neighborhood. They keep seeing you over and over and over. They're like, oh, this guy is actually, you know, quote unquote, in our vicinity more and more. Makes sense? So then on the second, third, or fourth meeting, that's when you get to kind of break it down. So, and always be prepared because you never know. They'll be just randomly asking you someday. So, but I'm good for you. I'm good that you got to what you want. So.
That's approximately how it's happening actually. Like I'm living in the same like complex as one of them. That's how I actually met him. And I feel like the fact that I don't really treat him like seriously, like I'm one of the only guys that doesn't actually treat him like a billionaire. I feel like that's what I'll allowing some sort of relationship to happen, right? because like he's literally like a baller. Like he has women around him, like trying to show him pictures, trying to be funny and shit. Like he has bitches around him, like following him everywhere he goes. Like everybody's like saluting him. Everybody knows him. Like in restaurants, everywhere he goes, like he literally gets like a 50% discount in every restaurant because he's from an important family. Like everybody likes very serious with him, except for me. I actually call him at like 7 p.m. and shit. I don't respect anything. But yeah.
Nice.
It's going out nicely. I also like onboarded already like a few millionaires here. I met some crypto people, some Russian crypto people here. There's actually plenty of Russians. Like it actually seems like a city run by Russians here. Like a big portion of people are Russian everywhere. They even have like pharmacies translated in Russian. Like they have like welcome in Russian, like before even translated in Chinese. So that's something I didn't expect. So I met a lot of useful Russian people here, like my agent that helped me like explore the real estate market. We became friends too. He's also interested. He's probably going to be investing. The thing that I see the most right now is like almost everyone that I talked to about Hex, they all see the price and they all consider that it's way too high to buy, which is actually like to some extent a bad thing, but I think it's a good thing because that means we're not going to have any dips, because if you have a dip, we already have like a lineup of people that are waiting for a dip to happen to buy. Like I know multiple people here, that are literally just waiting for that. They're waiting for a dip to buy. They're very interested, but they're seeing the price went up like multiple 10x's in the past months, and they just
what's going to happen to them?
How ironic is that?
They're going to get left behind. So you
it's either this or they're going to actually reduce the deepness of the future dip. So in both cases, it's fine.
Both, yeah. Yeah, I think both, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But again, this is the reason why there's levels to this, right? And this is the reason why I made that video and that audio with Maddie, 1 hour, which more than happy to, you can share that with them for them to understand. Once you fully understand Hex, and again, for some people, it might take them a little bit of time, price really become irrelevant because you know that it is a product, not a project. And then once you understand what it does, when you get those dips, it's just an opportunity for you to create a T-share at a cheaper price to then be able to maximize that opportunity. And even again, going back to that, to me, small market sale that happened at 10 million Hex. I say small because again, that guy was a super shark, right? So when we're talking super shark language, right, 10 million Hex is not that much money. And then you got to look at the behavior. Okay, that stake ended a long time ago. And if you look at the behavior, he's just doing what the system allows him to do, selling his interests and keeping the principal, right? He was already at 150 million plus stake. So he's getting the 10% bonus, bigger pays better, maxed out. So he's using that. Yes, he sold 10 million Hex. Everybody out there that have no clue, panicking for no reason, not understanding that it's not just the profit. The rest of the Hex is the money printer. If he's dumb enough to sell the money printer, not only is going to get wrecked by slippage, but he will lose that position and forever never be able to become that super shark that he was, because share rates since inception is now up 87%. There's no more big payday. So he has to think twice about what he's going to do with the remaining of that money. So, or he won't be able to generate enough T-shares to have those really nice monthly, yearly, whatever gains that he's planning, even though he's still getting diluted every time he does those restakes. The point of the matter is he probably understands, because obviously he's super shark. I hope for his own sake, if he's watching, that the rest of that money is the money printer. That's going to allow him to create and continue to create those yields. So in looking at the staking behavior, that's what has happened. So there's no reason to panic whatsoever. If anything, like we've been saying, this is your opportunity to buy cheap Hex. Because again, when this bull flag takes off, and again, we know that testnet is live and we haven't even got the snapshot yet, get ready. Because don't come crying later if the next time you buy Hex, it's going to be like, 60, 70, 80 cents on its way to $1. Because when Hex runs, it never looks back. It's like that meme that we saw recently, like the girl chasing the little kid, start to walk, then he runs, and it's too late. Yeah, don't be that guy. So use that opportunity, get yourself in position if you haven't already. Because again, snapshot is going to come soon after, now that we know that the testnet is left. So
true. Do you want to talk about what you're doing in Ukraine? Because I'm not aware of anything.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, some of it's gonna be released more later on, but primarily it was something that Gary started and organized, and the main point is imagine traveling around the world, networking with obviously individuals all around the world for all type of classes, and some of it elite, some of it just regular people, because Ukraine is actually one of the top country in Europe/Eastern Europe that's pro crypto. We walked around many places where literally you can walk in and buy crypto very, very easily. Big billboards and stuff. They're very, very friendly towards that. The new president is really pushing that as well. Again, entering the capital inside the country. So one of the greatest place to be. Also, again, meeting a couple of billionaires here and multimillionaires as well, crypto people. Tomorrow we have a big event related to that as well, and also showing kind of the lifestyle in terms of what Hexicans could do. The same way when we were visiting, a couple of weeks ago when we were in DC to see, Freddie Quotes. It's this idea of working hard, delayed gratification, so you can then reward your future self, right? Having those dreams, those ambitions, so you know why you do what you do, you know why you're working hard, you know why you're delaying gratifications, so you can become wealthy, not just rich, right? It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's a get wealthy for sure. And then you meet cool people along the way that becomes family, friends. We're in the minimum relationship with one another for 15 years, which is amazing. And we're all becoming wealthy at the same time, which is great. So that way we can protect one another too. So it's a combination of all those three things. And of course, for me, at least, Maddie can speak for himself, but I never been, and I love to travel. I've been to many countries and I try to add to my list. So to me, it's killing multiple birds in one stone.
Yeah, I was actually considering, there was a guy that contacted me that Wales actually talked to me about, like a guy that wanted my name, and he actually like wanted to go to Dubai, but then he changed his mind and he went to Ukraine, I believe. So I guess he's amongst you guys. I guess he discovered about those meetings that you're having, so he moved over there instead. And he actually invited me to, like, I considered it, but I'm not sure. The thing is, I'm thinking about like I could move to Ukraine right now, especially like it's close to Russia. So it's also gonna be my first time I've ever been there. I think my mom told me that we actually have some Ukrainian roots and stuff, so it might be interesting.
Oh wow, look at that!
Yeah.
Right, you're not too far from the border, so. No, but
Yeah.
it's really nice too. And one of the things too that I like to fight is kind of like, status quos, and kind of like how people don't know about Hex, and then, all they hear is the negative stuff instead of going and getting to know the people, getting to know the community. I think unfortunately, Ukraine had some of that. But for those of us, ever since we got here, it was nothing but blast, amazing people, great atmosphere, a lot of touristic sites to visit. Today, well, yesterday, so I live in the future, right? We went on a helicopter ride. It was really nice to get to sightsee a lot of different things. And there's great opportunity. Again, like I tell Mexicans all the time, look at it also where when you get to a point where you become financially free and you get to your own definition of FU money, like maybe, you want to live somewhere else. You may not want to, continue to maybe live in the United States or wherever else that you are. So it's good to travel to see different places, because you might be surprised. You might like another place the same way you went to Dubai, right? And then you realize, oh, wow, I can live here. This is cool. So having that kind of nice sneak peek to show people, hey, if you come here, this is what you're looking at. This is the cost of living. This is what real estate look like. So it kind of gives everybody an idea. And then as you travel in different places, people get to choose where they want to be, right? Digital
I
nomads.
actually didn't really base my decision based off like emotions and discovering places. I actually just fundamentally analyzed like the world, like where are the best places to live. I literally spent months analyzing like the Norways, Switzerland, even China, Shanghai, etc. I went to Texas. That's the only place I went to visit. And so I literally just picked, objectively speaking, the best place to be in, and then I made sure that my feelings attach me to that place. So that's kind of how I did it. I did it in reverse. So
Yeah,
no, I feel like it's the best place to be. I heard like on the last Quant Gang, there was a guy that said that he was interested, but he doesn't want to go because you can't own land. I don't know why he would spread like misinformation. It's
that has changed.
A 5-second Google search will show that it's not true. That you can
He has
actually own
outdated
most
data,
land
yeah.
here.
the new president changed all that. And this is another thing why it's very positive, because this guy is also very pro crypto. So a lot of things change, you know what I mean? And, you know, the rumor has it that, you know, he's not, you know, like corrupt or whatever, part of the old oligarchs, whatever. So the point of the matter is, yeah, that has completely changed. So it again, those who do their research, right, they'll know. So
like there's different like the types of areas, right? Some areas you can't own land, but those are usually the cultural, like old school areas where they want to preserve like the actual owners and stuff. It's usually the Emiratis, the actual indigenous people here, because 90% of people are foreigners, and so you have like specific areas that are called freehold areas. And those are actually most of Dubai, like most of the interesting areas. Like in downtown, most of it is freehold. Like the Palm Jumeirah, I believe, is also freehold. And the marina where all the tourists come to and all the Westerners usually come to is also freehold. So you can obviously own land here.
Absolutely. And again, there's a couple places like that around the world, you know, in Africa as well, South America as well. It's about doing the research, gathering the information, and then asking yourself, like, you know, where do you want to live? You know, I have a friend, literally, he cares about, you know, like climate and stuff like that. That's primarily how he bases his decision. You know, another person is, hey, cost of living. How can I have a really nice, quote unquote, lavish lifestyle? You do that in the United States, it costs you like $500,000 a month. You know what I mean? You do that elsewhere, and then maybe it costs you $20,000 a month. You know what I mean? So, but you have the similar lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? So, and you don't want to burn through your money or burn through your hex or stuff like that. So there's many things to consider. My goal is just show people what's possible and show them that there's many other options. And then to each their own, they pick where they want to go. And ideally continue to spread the good word, spreading hex everywhere and having meetups everywhere and be able to travel around. I love to travel. So I will never be
What are you going to
stopped.
spend all your money on, Karim?
Oh, my money is staked right now. So that's what I do. I buy money printers, and then, you know, I enjoy helping people.
T-shirts?
Shout out to Crypto King. Yes, T-shirt. And I enjoy helping people with Sticker app, and then continue on working on that progress. And again, my primary reason being here, networking events, and because we're going to be talking to, again, big financial people, you know, from the bank size to VC, to just letting them understand what's to come, because we're still pre-viral, right? The more eyes we can get on what we have, because it's such a powerful product, the better it will be, right? We don't just rely on the crypto vacuum, so to speak. Talking to people that live in the real world and talking to people who are looking to become financially free, right? The same people that I know from Africa, or when I visit South Korea, those are the younger people that are very eager to get out of poverty. Like I said in my clip, I want people to build wealth. I want them to get out of poverty. This is my ultimate winning. This is the biggest gift I can receive at this level in my life, because everything else I pretty much already do. So, and I will continue to do. And yeah, you know, like Well said many times, like, you know, the thank you goes a long way. So at least for me.
Yeah, and I mean, it's beautiful that everyone in, like, a lot of members of Hex are actually spreading the word like this. Like, you don't see this in our communities. Nobody's actually putting in the work in our communities. They're all expecting the work from the devs, etc., from the marketing team.
Yeah.
Like, when
point.
marketing all the time. Like over here, like every Hexagon almost, right? Most of the YouTubers at least, like, actually go out and promote Hex. Even I am not actually into being a YouTuber and stuff, but I'm still like promoting when I can. And there's also
Hell
like
yeah.
this guy doing the road trip in the US. That's actually crazy what they're doing. Like, it requires so much work. I actually donated to them the highest amount. So this is I feel like it's one of the best things you can actually do. Because not only are you giving back like to the community, but you're also pretty much investing in the marketing of Hex, because like the money that I donated, they immediately transformed it into Hex and they're using it for giveaways. So I'm pretty much doing what Karim is doing, but indirectly. Like, those people don't know that they're receiving my Hex that are probably going to change their lives, right? So I'm helping other people out, giving away to the community, but also it's an investment in marketing for Hex.
Good
So
for you.
look into that.
Absolutely.
You can actually
do
That's awesome.
And you efficiently utilize the system without having to create negative externality on the price as well, which is really good. Again, this is the reason why our community is so special, because of the quality of people that we have, again, and also the system is so well designed that all the interests are aligned. This is why those opportunities are very easy decision to make. It just makes sense. That's what I tell people all the time. It's about having abundant mindset, like not just thinking, oh, like back in the day, oh, the fee's too high. I'm like, dude, don't be stupid. Get your friend in, help them see the vision, help them see why Hex is so powerful. Because by the time the explosion happened, which it did, nobody complained about the price when everything just started going 3, 4, 5, 10, 20x, right? But it's about making sure you show them that good experience. You show them why we're here. The same way we go on these live streams, and we do things pretty much for free because we want people to understand why we do what we do, what the product is. And even at the VC level, we spend the time for them to make sure they understand why we're here. We don't need their money, so to speak. We just want them to understand what the product is and then how they can utilize it themselves. You know what I mean? We're not going to talk to anybody if they're not willing to even like download the app to actually use it or see how it works. That's the key. And this is why we have a different energy, because we're not desperate. We're not broke for money. We're good. But we want them to see what we see, understand the vision, what we're trying to do. And then they'll see where they can benefit themselves as well. So, and because we're long-term minded, then they know that we're going to be here for a long time. So,
and thanks to Marco for the $50 super chat. Much love, my family. Hope everybody's doing great. Proud of you, Karim, to change the world.
Let's go. Are you guys gonna join the tour in the US? Like, at which point are you thinking about joining?
Yeah. So for me, I mean, Maddie's probably gonna get there before me, but I'm waiting for them to arrive to my town, which is gonna be perfect timing because I'll be back to Boston, and obviously I gotta be handling some stuff and then promotion and everything because I'm cooking something really nice for the community, so it's gonna be awesome. Did that spark. And then when they get to me, East Coast, that's when most likely I'll hop in. And this is awesome because if everything goes well, I plan on just catching and add myself to the tour pretty much. And then we'll go all the way to Vegas. So, because it's a road trip nationwide. So
yeah. And I guess after Boston, it's going to be like New York. So Wales is going to come in, right?
If you want.
I actually plan to go to Boston. I plan to go to Boston. I plan to go to New York. I got to go to PA and help some guys out there. I plan to go to DC as well. I thought I wasn't going to be able to go, but I'm probably going to be able to go.
Bang, bang. Well, say less.
Let's go. I was thinking about joining in December, so that's actually lines up pretty well. Like Boston and New York, I think it's gonna be in December. So
yeah,
that's when
it's supposed to be early December, if not that. I think New York is November 30th. I think.
Yes, but Boston is November 27th, I believe. So it's right around that, right around that point, and then we just riding down and. Yo, Wells, you got to sit in the Tesla. We're chilling. We're good.
I'm not as confident as you are in that thing, but I'll think about it.
Yeah. So, because it's fun, road trip, and then again, keep it with the family. And I might have another Mexican, that might hop in from the West Coast. He knows who he is, but if he comes to, that'll be great. Again, the more the merrier. And it's cool because we can meet the people, do the onboarding, because especially on the East Coast, there's a lot of old money here. Definitely. And then helping the crew in answering questions. And, who knows? You may walk in sometime, the meetup has like hundreds of people. We want to make sure, that's my goal at least, that every person is attended to, break it down, understand how it works, answering questions, and then just explode the virality from there. Because the last tool we needed, okay? Hex Clip, this is for you, Quant Click. The last tool we needed is just activation of Pulse Chain. And based on the feedback that I'm getting and the message that's blowing my phone right now about how testnet is great, low, cheap fee, for basically everything we knew will happen, right? Because that's why we know what we're going to do. And this is literally the final nail in the coffin, literally. Because now you got $100, you can get into Hex. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. And this is where onboard.
So before we switch topics and talk about Pulse Chain and how to onboard everybody, I would like to, share my plan that I will be joining the road tour in a DeLorean that is from Back to the Future and will symbolize paying your future self.
It's done?
Oh, I have it. Yeah, like I have the paper.
Buddy, pull up the picture.
There's people that don't know right now. They have to fix the doors because the doors go straight up and they suck. So they have to rebuild.
Yeah, they got a gold wing or something.
Yeah.
Bang, bang. Maddie, do you have a picture to pull up for the people?
I have a picture. Yeah, I
If
have
you
a
don't
picture
mind,
of the
because I'm
actual.
sure there's new people in the chat.
Even
Yeah.
I didn't see it yet.
No worries.
Yeah,
It's a famous old movie. That was there.
And it's paying
I
your
actually
future
didn't see
self,
the
right?
movie.
That's the idea.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
that's-
the two images on the top, that's the car that I got, and then the other ones are just demonstrations. But so yeah, this is one of the top 5% best preserved DeLoreans in existence, I'm told.
Pensaba que era algo de verdad, pues yo estaba mirando.
Oh, it's cool.
So, and I'm going to join in Boise is the plan. They think that they can have the car done by then. Join in Boise. Hopefully, Hexologist will be there, and maybe Nerd Girl and some other people. And then I'll be traveling around the Midwest, I hope, to a handful of places. And then my prediction is that everybody will FOMO into the road tour once it hits the Midwest.
It makes sense. And then I imagine by the time we get to Vegas, it's going to be like a convoy. 30, 50 cars. Which is going to be dope. Because it's perfect timing for me because obviously got to handle some stuff on the business side, but like it's going to be amazing. And yeah, and then shout out to Purple in the chat. Of course, he says, yeah, I can confirm testnet is Chad level. See, like this is about to be next level. So, and for us, this is just the last piece that we needed. So,
and just imagine
Oh yeah, where's that mobile at? Is that for sale?
Well, and just imagine the Hex team Christmas that we may have, like just the December things that we can make happen. Like imagine like a big tree with like a big Hex logo on top instead of a star, like something crazy that we can do. Actually, don't know if there's anything planned, but I hope there is. Like celebrate like Christmas all together. I actually never celebrate Christmas because like Russians don't celebrate; they usually celebrate the New Year. So it could be crazy celebrating Christmas for the first time with Hexicans in Miami. Gonna be the first time too.
Yeah,
so man, I'm
right
so
that
hyped
time.
for that.
Hell yeah!
So hyped.
Yeah, because like Christmas to New Year's, it's Miami, and then one of the guy here, his name's John, Millionaire. He has one of his big yachts, 3-level. It might be charting it from New York and then bring it back because he's doing renovation, and it'll be right on cue right around December too. West Palm Beach, and then down there in Miami. So hey, we might do a party on the yacht. So because one of the events we're doing here too is one of his private rooftop, which is going to be pretty cool. Again, we have so much content and footage. We're just, those of you who follow me on Instagram, you've seen some sneak peek already. Went to shoot some tanks today. That was pretty cool as well. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool content. We're about to go next level. So very excited. But yeah, wanted to be here, Quant Game with the fam as always.
Mm-hmm.
Let me school you guys on why Hex is so unique, along with everybody else that's involved, right? Because I mean, all these things we're talking about. I mean, you guys don't even know what I'm involved in right now because I can't talk about it, and I won't because it's gonna be such a surprise that everybody's gonna be shitting bricks. Yeah. Everybody's gonna be shitting bricks. If you got FOMO pants on now, wait till Wales is done. Because what we're trying to do is position everybody for long-term success. This is why our streams are hours on end. We're not here pitching you sound bites. So if that's what you're looking for, you can get the fuck out. Because we're not about that. We're about promoting generational wealth accumulation here. Not a fucking pump and dump, not some bullshit scraggly ass fucking 220x, none of that. Right? We're here talking about lifelong wins, lifelong gains. This is what we're here about. This is what we're talking about. So all of the people that you see on these streams that you hear talking and all this is what our focus is. So every time you hear us talking about something that we're doing or involved in, you better believe it's always going to be next level. And it's going to be something you've never seen anybody else in crypto do before because you've never been in crypto. You've been in the promise coin space, which is a bootleg stock market the whole time. And the SEC or the SEC chairman, the latest person, let you know. I did a whole stream about it. If you missed it, you might want to watch it because if you do own anything besides Hex, you own a security.
Yep.
Period. In a
Oops.
discussion. That's a fact. Given to you by the feds themselves.
And it's funny because we already knew that. This is why, like, we
I was just
it's
about to say.
the only crypto.
Just about
It's
to
exactly
say.
for that fucking reason.
Yes,
I don't
I
want
was
to
saying,
own
yo,
this security.
hold on. Did you catch the line where he literally said, "Not your keys, not your crypto"? He literally
Yeah,
said
he
that.
literally said that.
I
I'm
feel like that
oh,
dude's watching
yeah.
Quant Gang. Might he be?
All right,
You
exactly.
never
Are you watching
know.
Quant? Are you like copying Richard Hart? Like, what's going on here?
He's
It's kind of
watching
hilarious.
somebody. I don't know where he got that phrase from. I never heard him say it ever. And he used to teach crypto classes at MIT. So this guy understands what he's talking about from a technological perspective, right? And this is important because everybody's out here acting like nothing happened this past week. Everything just happened this past week. Everything. So all of these people that are out here acting like they're in crypto, let them know they're not. They're in the fake stock market.
Yep.
That's what they're in, because what are they buying into? A promise from a bunch of people that don't know how to do a damn thing except code. Fact.
Yep. And by the time they realize what the hell's going on, it's already too late. They got sold to the sheep. They got sold to the meat grinders. Those idiots are gonna cash out first, dump on their heads, and by the time that, hey, you because how long do you have? They said something about like within 2 weeks. Once the thing, if the thing pass within 2 weeks, you become a security. So this is why people start to panic, and it's just like, you got to understand it. Position yourself. Again, stop fucking playing checkers. Stop playing chess. Understand what you own. There's a reason why we're pure DeFi. There's a reason why you're the only one talking with the contract, creating your own stake, doing your own swap, all the stuff. Even with StakerApp, for those who don't know, let me remind you, it's a non-custodial app. What that means is only you are in control. The app just helps you make things easier. But at the end of the day, it's you and the code. Still, the smart wallet is a smart contract. There's no middleman. It's literally you doing all the work. You're the only one seeing the key. You're the only one writing it down. Make sure it's safe. And you're the only one doing the same thing. We're just easing the process for you. So that's why it's freaking epic. And that's why we can confidently not worried about those other stuff, because we know we're going to check all the boxes. And again, if you haven't watched that stream, go back and watch the Wells stream, because he really broke it down. Like, even me, I was very tired, but I watched it because I know it was important. So just to say.
And that's actually crazy, because that's something I truly realized a few days ago. Like, when some people were asking me, like, how do you make my monthly salary daily? And so I had to explain to them how it's happening, and they were like they were expecting that I'm actually like giving my money to people that trade it, right? Like, that's what people are used to. Like, you give your money to some other people that trade with that money, or to a bank that uses your money, or that you give it away so that the money gets lent. And so when I was explaining to that person how Hex work, that's when I truly realized, like, damn, it's actually impressive, because it's none of these things. It's literally just you in a smart contract. There's no third party involved. Like, literally, it's safe. It's just you literally minting your own rewards. Like, that's the thing that Richard has been saying forever. It's just like, it never really resonated with me until I started explaining it. And that's when I was like, damn, that's actually like way different from everything else. And that actually like keeps you protected and avoids all of the risks from all of these other methods. Like, this guy recommended me to do the same thing by giving my money to like an asset management fund, and I did the comparison, and now like Hex is just superior. It's incredible. You don't need to rely on no one, and you get a better interest than all of these other options. That's just crazy.
Absolutely. And then just real quick, let me just address this comment in the chat here. So yeah, Garrett. So yeah, the stake app fee is like a convenience fee because you're using the app. That doesn't mean that we have control over what you're doing and what you're swapping or not, right? You're still in full control. You're the one creating the stakes. You're the one creating the swaps. You're the one doing everything. It's all done via smart contract. Convenience fee doesn't mean that there's a key involved, like an admin key or anything like that. That's what it means. You are in full control. Always. Go ahead, Dan.
No, I was over. Just stating that like, a lot of things that Richard says, it sounds impressive. It's even more impressive when you actually understand it. Usually you understand it when you try explaining it. That's when you realize how badass it is.
And that's what's so magical, because most of the hard work is done. Now it's just a matter of just, getting the eyeball. And then he did an interview today, which I think was another great interview Well, it was a little short, because she had to go somewhere, whatever. But especially the first 20 minutes, very, very powerful. He broke everything down. And it's funny because it sounded like breaking news to her when it's like, no, we told you before. It's funny. She was, for those who, OG enough, she was supposed to do an interview with Richard a long time ago, but she didn't give it time of day. And now, again, like some of the other Furus, like, oh, they seen the writing on the wall. Oh, we are in a bear market, like we fucking been telling you for months, right? Since the peak. It's kind of a joke. And now they're waking up to realize that, she just got real. This is actually the bear market. This is what is going on. The reality start to settle in. Literally like the Wall Street market cheat sheet. We're still in that kind of complacency phase, but the fear is starting to come in. And then watch, when we kick into Q4, like I told you guys, the shenanigans starts in September, like we've been seeing, clockwork, and then they're going to end the month. And then when Q4 starts, that's when we're going to go to full panic mode. But this is when we're going to lift off, and we're going to have our pulse chain. We're going to be ready. So, and this is why it's so important to understand what's to come so you can position yourself, right? Like Richard said it best, we can't win any harder. We told you many, many times what has happened, okay? And what is going to happen and then happen. We have the receipts, we have everything. Now, if you understand math, if you put 2 and 2 together and you understand what we're also, quote unquote, working on because we want to, no expectation of work of others. We just love our community and love what we do. And it protects our own bags. So nobody's paying us to do anything. We do it because we want to. Plus the tour is continuing. Plus we're talking to, to bigger wallets. We're traveling different countries. Richard is out there traveling Europe as well, which is huge. It's a great asset as well.
Who did Richard stream with today?
Wendy O. Crypto Wendy O.
Oh.
It's in the chat.
Nobody important. It's okay. Just
exactly. Exactly. So, but the funny joke for those who didn't know, because long time ago she was supposed to do the interview, she didn't. But nonetheless, 100K subscribers. I hope some new people that don't know about Hex get to watch it, and then they can go and learn about it, which is cool. But now,
so somebody's asking in the chat here, why is it called Quant Gang? A quant is somebody who is quantitative in nature, which means they deal with numbers.
Maddie, hold on, Maddie, hold on, brother. We're here to educate, not be a dictionary. That individual can go look the word up. We're not gonna waste time on that, brother. Come on now.
But I'm saying math. We're
better than that.
Plug your.
Yeah, we're better than that. That person probably doesn't even belong here if they don't know what quant means.
Sure. You probably thought it was a coin. Somebody says it's like a coin.
No. We ain't here for that, bro. No. They need to go.
Are you trying to shield that coin? Like, no. We only talk about Hex here,
Yeah, no.
But
get out of there.
In simple way, we're here to educate, like Will says, and micro view again. Plain chess, no checkers. Keeping it simple so the little person can do it too. So we remove all the roadblocks. So and that's why we're here. So
yeah, we're here to educate, not tell you how to tie your shoes. Like, get it correct. Don't come in here asking questions you can Google. Straight up. That's just disrespectful and it's a waste of everybody's time. Period.
And know that we have a history with receipts of being right, and we're telling you what's most likely going to happen, especially in Q4, especially if you've been unfortunately hurt with other projects, out there, promise coins. This might be your last chance before we go fly past $1. And I seriously mean it, because Pulse Chain onboarding is going to be next level, because again, the last hurdle that we needed to be kind of fixed is getting fixed. And with all the cool messages, my phone's blowing up about this testnet, people are very excited, below their expectation. That is going to add fuel to the fire. So when big money sees that too, they're going to bring in their people too. So you've been warned, you've been prepared. That's the beauty of Quant Gang. You get the alpha first because we give it to you for free. Literally, we tell you, and then next week, shit happens. They'd be like, oh my God, how did this happen, right? That's why we tell you to go back and watch the old stream, so you can check the receipt for yourself. What we've been saying, what we have said, and then what has happened. So very important.
So when are we expecting approximately Pulse to launch right now? If testnet already happened, how much time does it take usually?
Well, technically the steps, exactly. The steps are testnet, then snapshot, which is very important, and then launch. Because
so
ultimately,
let's all go around one at a time and answer that question, because I think it's a great question that the audience would want to hear from all of us on. Who wants to go first?
Well, I can go first. So, which is my prediction from the get-go. So I said by the end of the month, we'll have the testnet, which now is live. I project by mid-October. It just depends of like, you know, like what the timing of what the testing is, but I expect by mid-October we're gonna have the snapshot. But I think it's not gonna be said. It's gonna be like a vague, and then hey, snapshot, which is the best way to do it. So you want to avoid the pump and dumpers trying to play shenanigans with people. So, but expect somewhere in October snapshot, and then I'm expecting whenever that snapshot happen, within 2 weeks we launch. So, and then the rest is just making sure when you test something, right? Now I'm thinking like an engineer, you want to just let it run for a while, even though there's no problem. It's just letting it run for a while just to make sure there's no last minute thing that we haven't seen. And then after that, we roll. So, but the fireworks is definitely happening in Q4. And like I've told people many, many times, don't be dumb, okay? Don't be waiting. It's going to happen sooner or later. Get your t-shirts now, get yourself in position. Watch my last stream with Maddie if you haven't already, the 1 hour. Get your strategy in, because it's going to matter so much for your copy on the Pulse chain, which is going to accelerate very, very fast. You want to be in position. You want to have your dream account set up, your strategy set up. So when more shenanigans start to happen and the traders comes in and they start telling you PX versus EX and this and that, you can say, hey, shut up. I got my position. I'm collecting money printers. I've listened to Karim. I've listened to Wells. I know what time it is. I'm here to collect money printers. And then even when Pulse Chain comes in, maybe you turn that into a money printers too. That is the ultimate strategy. That is the free alpha that will always help you. No matter what games anybody trying to play, you will always get paid. If you don't do that, you will get wrecked. I am warning you right now. If you don't do that, you will get wrecked. Prepare now, not later. So that's me.
Wells?
My guess is 30, 45 days. Basically same as Kareem. I mean, that's just basic steps, you know. Snapshot and fork. I mean, yeah, snapshot and fork, sorry. Yeah. Then launch, not fork. It's already forked, sorry. Pretty much it, man.
Okay.
Dan,
well,
what do you think?
Yeah,
Go
Dan, go ahead.
I don't know. I haven't been following anything for the past few months, so no idea. But I would
Yeah,
actually.
Dan's not living best life.
I've been living my best life right now. But I think that's what's gonna happen. Like it's actually crazy because I haven't even been following like the hex price for like a month, and then I come back and it's still at 40 cents. Like it's crazy that it's holding up like that high. Like it's made like multiple 10x's in the past months, and it's actually holding up. Like we don't see any like huge dump of 50, 60, 70%. Now at the same time, it's slightly worrisome because we're used to having such dumps. So I wouldn't be surprised if something like this happens. It's kind of crazy that it's not happening yet, but overall,
It's not crazy
it's crazy.
for me.
People just
if you understand the math, you will know it's just doing what it's supposed to do. That's what up and to the right means. It's not up and to the right and down.
Yeah, but we had Hex has been running for like almost 2 years now, and it's always been up and to the right, while at the same time having 60-70% dips.
Brother,
like
you're not
everybody
paying
was
attention, man. You're not paying attention,
that's why you've been away. So I'm not be too hard on you because you've been away for a while.
Yeah.
But let me remind
Nothing's
you.
changed, Kareem. We can bust his chops. Nothing's changed, bro. Where you been? You better go and watch some old Quant gangs or something, because you're not paying attention, bro. I'm about like at this point, I'm gonna just start chopping people's heads off because this is just getting ridiculous. Look, bro, this is programmed money. Programmed money, meaning it's not supposed to be a stock market. Not. Okay? So if you got anybody talking to you like this is some stock market shit, you need to turn around and walk away. Period.
Yep. You need to deprogram those old, again, maybe you used to see all the charts. That's why it feels a little uneasy, because Hex is just creating a different type of reality. And again, first year was launch phase. You were getting billions of Hex per day. So, you know, remember I used to tell you that little trader mentality that you have. Thank God you fix it towards the end, because you could have been left behind. Because I know many people that sold hundreds of millions of Hex that are now on almost suicide watch. So that was feasible back then because the liquidity in terms of Hex term was a lot. So you could kind of play this dance around. Now you make that mistake, you get left behind. Liquidity is at a different level in Hex term. Plus more people coming every day. We're growing at a compounding rate. We're doing 1,000 new users every other day, almost trending to do 1,000 every day. So it's a different game. So this is where the better people understand the system, which is why we're here, and the more they maximize and use the right strategies, like I'm also spending a lot of time educating, the more it's going to pump and the more it's going to accelerate. Why? Because people are using the system the way it's designed. Sucking the liquidity out, price goes up, and then you understand that once you go 2, 3, 4, 5, 10x, the same way you have done, you stop paying attention to the price because it becomes irrelevant anymore, which then you graduate from understanding what Hex is, a product, not a project. If you only sell the interest and not the principal, price is irrelevant. Everything you generate is just free alpha from there. So this is the same reason why the guy that dumped 10 million, whatever Hex a couple hours ago, it's a non-event. Excuse me, it's a non-event. He's just using the system at his level, which is he sold the interest, restake principal. Same thing. We'll keep on going about all day.
I like to think big sales like that are actually very bullish. They're not. It's not even a non-event. It's actually extremely bullish because if you understand that this is program money and this is straight math, then there's only one thing that can happen when somebody exits that sizable quantity when you have thousands of people searching for cheap Hex.
Yep.
Yeah, and as I said, like even like most people that I meet, they're all like ready to buy. Like they're waiting to buy. They're just waiting for a dip to happen.
Yeah, they're gonna get left behind because they don't understand this isn't a stock market. That's a fact.
So, are you trying to tell me that you're actually not expecting any more dips in Hex like forever? You're just expecting to go up?
No, again, there's dip and there's dip.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
I just said I expected a dip like in the.
You can't predict people's future behavior.
What kind of dip do you expect?
That somebody wouldn't just dump because there's stupid people with their finger on the trigger ready to give people a discount, which is what people are waiting for. So it's, you know,
the question is, when will it happen? That's what you can't forecast.
Yeah. And are you going to get left behind first? And do you understand what Hex is? So to go back before when we were all going around the room to talk about what our predictions were for when Pulse Chain would launch, so I'll give you a little kind of you know, a psychological Easter egg or something. I think the coolest time for Pulse to launch would be October 31st. Why October 31st? Because that's Bitcoin's birthday. And she's getting old.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a good one. That's a good one. I forgot about that.
Very decrepit. And so what better time to, like, you know, flex your young muscles with Pulse Chain than, you know, on the old lady's birthday, right?
I like what you're doing.
It's also an airdrop, and airdrops historically go on holidays sometimes, right? And so that's another reason. The timeline fits with what Karim and Whales are saying, you know, at the end of next month. So
yeah, and that's true. And in December, there's going to be like the vacations, right? So everybody's going to be at home. So everybody's going to be able to actually, you know, they're going to have a higher likelihood of discovering about Pulse or noticing that they received an airdrop. So that's
crypto historically pumps
in December
at the end of the year, right? When people are going to Thanksgiving and Christmas and telling their relatives.
Everybody has some money to spend or some money that they received at Christmas that they want to spend. So
yeah. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. And then when everything else is going to be dying around us, again, bear market full effect, you know, the shining lights, beacon of light right on the hill is going to be able to shine even brighter when the rest of the floor is lava. So that's literally the key, which is going to connect everything together. And this is why I tell people to be in position now, not later or yesterday, if they heard me saying that, because I've been saying that for a while, so that they don't have to be stressed about the sort of thing. And once you understand, again, the system, and this is a good comment my friend Jeff Jean said here on the chat, which is good. Hex is so deceptively simple that people miss it completely for the first 10x, hearing the fundamentals. If you're not used to break down the system and hearing it in different formats, you may not get it. And that's very, very important. And he knows because, you know, the first couple of times when I was talking to him, because I knew how to be persistent and how to change the format and make him visualize, imagine the thing, then turns out it worked out. But that's why it's so important. That's why repetition is key. But this is also why I'm warning everybody right now. There's a lot of people that are getting into Hex, but also there's a lot of people that just recently got to Hex, but they are at level 1, level 2. They haven't reached level 4, level 5, which they fully understand. And once they do, it will click. And when their short-term stakes ends and they flip that into bigger stake, longer stakes, they start to see 2x, 5x, 10x.
100%.
They become like Dan. They don't care about the price no more, which means their hands naturally become stronger.
Kareem, that's exactly how I started.
Yep.
That's actually true. Like when you start making a lot of money, you don't care anymore. You're not even thinking about selling. You just pass that point.
Yep. Yeah. And I've been saying that for months, because this is the reason why I said the higher the price go, the less the rich guy needs to sell, because it just becomes number on the screen. But this is the reason why the pumps is actually going to become more and more violent. People don't understand. It's counterintuitive. It's the opposite. This is what Wells been trying to tell you guys for a while when he talks about vacuum. It's like a bottle of champagne where you pop. We're sucking all the liquidity to a point where it becomes so scarce, because people really want to maximize the system, that literally the hex are disappearing. Even though we're growing at an exponential rate, we're still less than 100,000 stakers, which is not a lot, which means we're still very pre-valued, even though we're growing very fast. But still, imagine like a YouTube channel. It takes you a while to get your first couple, right? And then you start to get a few, and then you get a couple hundreds, and then when you start cracking that 100,000 plus, there's going to be days you're going to get 10,000 subscribers and 20,000 subscribers. And next thing you know, within 4 or 5 months, you can reach 1 million subscribers. This is how virality goes. Now isn't the time for you to think, oh, we're going to create this. No, there is no fundamental reason why. And if you understand how the system works, once again, you will understand that the hex is going to start becoming scarce and scarce and scarce. And you got one more factor, the share rate is going to start requiring more hex to create that T-share over time, which is why it's going to act as a fundamental by itself on top of the new user adoption. So when you factor all those things together and you understand the system and what it does, it's actually insane for you to think, oh, it's going to do like the other stuff. No, it's going to do what the system is going to do. And as it becomes maximized, it's going to pump even faster. All that is just a little distribution. And Wells is right. When big wallet sells like that and the prices barely move, and to me, for the size, 8% is nothing, and it's just correcting back up. It's just to show you that the little guy can buy more for cheap. And what I meant by non-event is like, it's non-event like in terms of like people being fear or this or that. Those are probably the new people that just got in recently. And then after a couple of weeks to a month or two, they'll be the one telling the new people, this is no big deal. Just buy cheap hex and stake it. That's it.
Yeah. I agree, actually. Like, I agree on most of these things, but the only things that I would say that I have like a different perspective on is that I believe that, we shouldn't exclude bearish possibilities, like, because the fundamentals haven't really changed. Like, fundamentals were the same literally in January, but we weren't pumping in January. We were actually making new lows against ETH in January. I remember I was there. And even last year, right? Like, most of you weren't there when Godwell pumped the price, like double the price in one candle, and then we started going up every day, every week. Everybody was so ecstatic. Everybody was like, yeah, hex is actually different. It's just gonna go up forever. And that's the same behavior that I'm seeing right now. So I've been through it all, right, since the beginning. And so I'm telling you, like, we always had dips, even when it was going parabolic for like an extremely long time. So I'm very open to like bearish scenarios, and I don't think that we will just like go up forever. Even though right now I feel like we will, because the squeezing is happening. But this squeezing has been happening for months, right? Like, literally, it was the Pulse chain announcement that started the whole pump. Before that, like even December, January, February, before Pulse was announced, the big payday had happened, and all those fundamentals were also true. Yet we were not seeing a pump. So all in all, I agree with everything you're saying, but I'm also open to like a bearish scenario. And I feel like it's also like healthy to not be like a maximalist.
This is why I just remember the two important data from back then, which has changed from now. Back then, since the beginning, I may not be in the beginning, but I was there right after the Godwell. You were getting 1 billion hex added to circulation every day. You're not getting that anymore. Back then, we had sacrifice billions of hex.
Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna break it down for him later, because he just doesn't understand. Because it's not about being open to it's not about being open to bearish scenarios. You have to understand what's happening here. You don't understand what's happening here, brother. Nothing has changed, and that's exactly no. Hold on, because you're right. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. That's exactly why you're incorrect about the bearish possibilities. What do you assume is bearish? What do you assume is bearish?
I'm assuming we're gonna have like a 50% correction at some point. Probably not now, but it will happen.
Really?
Of course.
Where do you get that idea from?
Listen, and this is good because
I want to know.
Encourage people having differences and
I
then we go
want to
back.
be like
it's a real question. Yeah, I'm not trying to be a smart ass.
a different
This is a
opinion
real
here.
question.
So no, I feel like it's not even. It's not even.
Because
like
you understand
why
what
would
has
you
to
expect
happen
it to not happen?
You have to. Do you understand how Hex actually trades? Like somebody has to be selling a shit ton for it to actually go down 50%.
Yeah.
Like it's not just gonna move 50% because somebody says it will. Like that's irrelevant. Somebody has to actually.
Like a month ago or something, there was a guy that dumped like from 12
that's
cents
right.
to 0.008, and that was one guy. Imagine if two guys do it. That's a 50%
but do
dump.
you know why?
There's less liquidity now, right?
But do you know
the
why?
price
There's actually
can
more
move
liquidity
down
now.
more.
There's actually more
What?
liquidity now.
Yeah, all I'm
there's
saying
actually more
is that it
liquidity
can
now.
happen. Like one guy can make it happen, and if two guys do it at the same time, then that can
but
be
it's
like
about
a
the
60%
why, Dan. It's about the why. That happened for a specific
There's
reason.
no why. Like people are dumb. Like there's no why. Like like that guy that sold, he sold, and he's been left behind. So it's not about the why. Like people will just do dumb shit.
The person that sold for a reason. You're just not privy to what's going on because you haven't been paying attention, brother, and that's okay. But you have to understand this is math. Now, whether somebody dumps or not, that's fine. But what you need to do is go back and look at how long that 8 cent or whatever price it was lasted. That's what you need to do. Because that's how you define bear markets. It's by duration, not by price traction.
Don't confuse wicks with like, oh, this and that, because those people that do that, they just end up becoming a wick and then they'll get left behind. Because I was there doing the biggest quote unquote correction, but that's also when I accumulated the most. But then again, there was 1 billion hex being dropped
like
every
6
day.
months, right? It was like
6 months. And there was so much coin that was floating out there. And then rightfully so, why we're going to give them a lot of money to exit if they don't understand the long-term value. And big payday hasn't even happened yet. And you keep forgetting that the massive amount of big payday got paid soon after the big payday. And a lot of it, and I made a stream about this, you can go back and watch it. I said, the people still early marshmallow or right around January to February. And after that, I said, right after March, April, we're going to start sucking that. Thank you, Wells. We're going to start sucking that liquidity and never to be seen again. And this is what has happened. This is why that 6 months consolidation is so strong, because that was just foundation building. So expecting that same type of behavior, it's very misguided, very misleading. And you see how we're not giving you emotional stuff. We're giving you based on the math. We're showing you what are the things that existed then that don't exist now. And then
but I wasn't talking about then. Like that's what I was talking about. Like after big payday, I was talking about December, January, February. I was talking about after big payday because I know obviously 500 million every day. I know about that.
Yeah. So and then the last step was right before sacrifice. There was still a bunch of, because we done the math for Gunter. I visited whatever we checked everything. There was a lot of liquid hex that was kind of sitting around, and lo and behold, we get sacrifice phase when excluding the OA. A lot of billion hex got sacrificed. Those hex are no longer hitting circulation. People are still downplaying the importance of that. This is one of the reasons why also price is able to stay where it is now, because a lot of people sacrifice that for pulse so they can get that. So that hex is also no longer going to be seen in circulation. Even after we get the duplicate, well, it's a system state based on what's left. That hex is no longer to be seen. It's going to serve as a function of APY because it's just going to sit there liquid, ready to be consumed in other ways. So when you factor all of that, plus the onboarding effort, plus the educational effort, plus the staking average length, which constantly going higher and higher and higher. And like you perfectly experienced, as people understand the system, as people wealth is growing, they need to sell less and less hex. So the price going up is actually a function of diamond hands getting stronger and people getting less worried about a 5%.
The thing is, not everyone is a diamond hand. Like some people will see, like they will make a lot of money and will dump it. And the thing is, because it's pretty easy to dump hex, like as we have seen, like just one guy can actually make like a 20, 30, 40% dump. So if there's a coincidence or multiple guys decide to do that dump,
and they will become a wick. It's a feature.
Like right now, I feel like they will become a week, but I'm not talking about that dump right now. I'm thinking about Eventually, right? I'm just not expecting us to
Because
go.
remember,
We will go up in the long term, right? Forever, up and to the right. That's something I think it will be true. But I am expecting like boring periods
it's
in
up
Hex. I
and then
don't think.
sideways and then
Yeah,
up again.
Like
Bullfrog. That's what the to the right is. The sideways is when we consolidate and we let those people take profits. And then again, Richard said it many times. We want to be liquid enough, not so liquid that somebody just want to do in and out 20 million, whatever, this and that. Because at that point, we know you're a trader, you're not a staker, because you don't need that kind of money. So if you want to dump big amount, you deserve to pay the slippage. Yeah, makes sense. Just math.
I don't know. I'm with Dan on this one.
Yeah.
I think Overwatch has so many billions of dollars worth of hex. He could give everybody a Merry Christmas discount, but I don't think it would last for months and months. And I think it would be the greatest opportunity ever. And I hope that it happens, right? But I think that, Dan, let me present the bearish case for, it's not even a bearish case. It's just a dip, right? So, I can give my case for a dip, right?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
What you waiting for? You don't need an invitation from us.
It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just,
I'm gonna break it down while you guys are wrong. That's all. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
They're super. Well, we can each give our points. There are super sharks out there like Dan. There are whales out there, and people make their own decisions, right? And as the in my opinion, as the liquidity on the automated market maker changes, that could cause a dip for a week. And a dip for a week, that would be probably even more bullish because you're shaking out the weak hands. And so at the end of the day, I think the traders are going to get wrecked and the stakers are going to do the best. And it's going to be really exciting to see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, that's straightforward, man. Again, you guys are talking about a probabilistic outcome that is almost less than 10%. It's going to definitely be less than 1% of the time. Right? And this is what you have to take into consideration. It's the time. The time is everything here. You're talking about price. Price is irrelevant. Price is a gift because you get paid every day. Right? Now, here's the thing. You're assuming somebody is going to be big enough, number one, to enter now or recently and be able to dump in size later in the future because they 2-3x whatever. Right? This is what it sounds like to me. Sounds like you guys are talking about traders. Now traders don't have that kind of
Overwatch. Who
that's fine.
Who put $100 million
that entity itself, we already know is an existing problem. Right?
Okay.
So if they do that, all they're doing is giving us a gift. Irrelevant. Right? Like an entity like that, entirely irrelevant. They're not relevant to the conversation. We already saw what happened when they tried to do something. It was gone. 15 minutes. 15 fucking minutes. No market does that. Yeah, exactly. You got to look at the data. Otherwise, you don't know what you're saying. This is the problem. People like to speak from what they think they know. You got to scrap that. That shit does not apply when it comes to Hex. Let it go. Throw it in the trash. This is why I had to learn this shit with you guys on stream. If you weren't watching me from day one, you're not going to understand that Karim was basically talking about me when he was saying the new guy that enters, stakes short, then learns, then stakes long. That was me. Okay? So the people that are selling, they don't know what they're doing. That's a gift. That's not bearish. That's not bearish.
Yeah, but that's like another conversation if it's a gift or not. Like that's not what
Dan, I gotta disagree with you because you're not understanding. It's about time. Time
everybody
is
agrees
everything.
on time.
No. Everybody doesn't agree on time.
I mean, we agree. Like all four of us agree that in the long run, it's gonna go up.
It's not about. I'm talking about when the down move happens, Dan. Not in the long run. When this down move that you're prognosticating, you're assuming can happen, happens again, it's going to be irrelevant like it is now. That's my point. You're going to not see it, just like you didn't see it that time. Any dip that happens, if you're not paying attention to the price, you're not going to know it even happened.
Especially if you've been gone for a month. By
that's
the time
you
come back,
but
Like 4 days ago, I give you an example. One of Trayvon contract, whatever, blow up, whatever that is, the guy emergency end stake was a 10x per t-shirt. You probably didn't even know about this, but let me get you up to speed. That was just another wick. And then we got a really nice payout, and then everybody went about their day. You know what I mean? That was
I
like,
didn't even know that's why that
yeah,
happened.
that was like, what was it, man? It was like
right
60
now,
million X, some stupid number like that. Like, and then what? Gets a wick, and then you're out. Like, it's really no big deal. Like, my point is this: there is systemic risk, aka bear market, and there's like wicks. So I think the problem is that you guys are confusing the definitions.
Good call.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's saying there's not going to be any wicks. Nobody's saying there's no way people are going to be taking profit and this and that. Some people know how to do it the right way.
I thought that's what you were saying.
Oh,
let's define what we're talking about. So
yeah.
So what are we talking about then?
Yeah, because I'm talking about how as time goes on, because this has been my life purpose. And again, make no mistake, when the promotion goes live, it's going to be even more crazy. When people are going to get more onboarded, people are going to get more educated about what they own. They're not only going to be able to buy more, but they're going to be able to be more responsible with the hex that they own. And just that alone knows any single entity, this, that, because remember, those people, the way they work, those traders, is they dump and they have to create fear, panic to then make their play. But if the community is educated, trained, and understand what they own, they'll just be left behind. Like many times, they even tried on the hex trading chat, created FUD, this, that. Many of them, they know who they are. You know what I mean? And then when they realize it doesn't work, then they come back later and they apologize and they play the nice guy, this and that. Where it's like, no, we know you. You've been playing these bullshit games like many times because you're trying to, you only talk shit after you sold, right? But in between, you're like, oh, this and that. So we're just making sure, and I'm warning you guys now for you to understand that my staker class is going to get stronger and stronger over time because we're going to practice repetition because that's what we're here to do. And those diamond hands are going to get stronger and stronger. I'm creating them by the day. Okay. So there's a reason why my most supported video is the one that I did last week. I told people, and I'll say it again, Quant Clips, get this. If I die today, if you just watch and look at that video, that tweet that I did, this is the single most important thing you will learn from me. This is how you build wealth. This is how you get out of poverty. No scenario, no narrative, no who it is. I don't care if the guy is a whale. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if God will change his mind, decide to exit. It doesn't matter. If you follow that principle, you will get out of poverty. That's the key. Everything else is just narratives. Because if you never sell the principle and you only leave off interest, the price is irrelevant. I repeat, the price is irrelevant. Hex is a product, not a project. Wells told you that many times. Drill that into your brain. Be grateful that the price is less than $1. Get as much as you can because everybody got different economic energy. Because you're gonna be one of those people that complain, oh, it's too expensive. Now I can't buy X, Y, and Z. Because on Pulse Chain, all bets are off. The little guy is gonna be able to play delayed gratification now at a higher level because even when he puts $200 and he only has to pay a penny for a transaction fee, he's gonna start filling the wealth. And he's going to start putting his money in. If you thought 401k used to raise a lot of money, wait. Hex.com. We're going to get that shit on steroid. And it's going to be worldwide, not just like the famous quote meme, US and China, 7-8 trillion. We're going to onboard the whole world. So those who don't see that value, they're going to become irrelevant. Like some of the early Bitcoin maxis, whatever whales that like no longer relevant. Those are the people we're talking about right now. 5 years from now, those people are not going to be relevant. The question is, are you here to build wealth or are you trying to think like a trader? That's it. You know what I mean? We're in the trenches day in, day out because we care about the community. If we didn't care, would have been gone a long time ago and just travel the world and whatever else.
Yeah, I still have my stakes from like the first month of the launch still going. So like I'm staked, right? I don't even have any dry powder, so I don't want a dip, right? It's not like what I want, but I'm just saying that it's important to not become like the very thing that we hate, right? Moon boy maximalists and just forever like expect that for the entirety of the next 15 years we're gonna see the same price action as right now, just like literally come straight up like this. I feel like it's important to remind ourselves that we are so bullish right now because we're going up, and that there may be, and there probably will be like boring periods when there's like nothing exciting happening. Because right now there's like a lineup of people waiting to buy, so we're probably not going to see any dips right now. They're all going to be bought up, but there are going to be like moments where there's nothing, no news coming up, like no hype at all. There are going to be like boring periods like that, and that's all I'm saying.
But
right?
this is why Hex is a product, because it's finished. It doesn't need the hype. You see, that's why it's so bullish. When it goes sideways, it's bullish. You know why? Because when it goes sideways, you get daily payout. When you get daily payout, price is the same. That's the monetization of time.
Yeah. We get paid. I'm talking like in general, right?
Yeah.
But we obviously get paid like no matter what. Even if a dip happens, we get paid because some people probably emergency and stake. And also like it's what Richard is talking about. It's a reflexive system. Like a lot of people are over analyzing things. I feel like Hex is can also be very simple at times. If people sell, if there's like some big whales that sell, a lot of small fish will panic and will sell too, and it may create like a cascading effect, just like we had the cascading effect right now. We were like people buying and people waiting in line to buy even more. It's like when people buy, even more people buy, and when people sell, even more people sell. So that's why I think that
this is the trade. And by the way, I've said it many times. This is what
we're talking about traders here, obviously, not about us.
Yeah, because those traders are the one liquidating one another. Meanwhile, the staker class is just sitting on the sideline, watching the fight, eating popcorn, and just saying thank you for the payout. This is why when I say what I say, I know which the target audience is. You understand? So a lot of those wicks are just created by trader, them trying to fight each other, take each other's money, but they don't realize, and they're just getting wrecked by slippage. They're getting wrecked through the emergency penalty because they think they're smart when they press that button, even though it's the dumbest thing they can do. But meanwhile, we're just saying thank you. Thank you for the cheap Hex. Thank you for the penalties, because this is going to be the hard events years from now. It's not going to be about price. We're going to be bragging about how many penalties we got paid today. I foresee a day when we're going to have emergency and stake penalty. You ready? It's going to be $1 billion. We're going to have $1 billion. Maddie, clip this. There's going to be a day in the future when there's going to be emergency and stake penalties of $1 billion. And those who are staked are going to benefit from that. And those who are not, we're going to have hundreds of thousands, millions of stakers, of course. So it's going to be spread around. But the point of the matter is, as the price continues to go up, there's going to be a lot of those shenanigans. But those who stay to the core fundamentals or what the product does, they will always benefit no matter what. Price goes up, they get paid. Price goes sideways,
I like that
they
prediction.
Price goes down, there's a heavy emergency penalty. Just that day, you got paid so much money, it's crazy. Because your coin count is accelerating, which is why you look at your wallet, you won't see that dip. That's what I'm trying to fucking tell people. And by the time it goes back to where it was, not even a new all-time high, it just goes back to where it was, you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars more. And you're like, whoa, because it's just that good. So when we're saying those bullish things, remember, this is Quant Gang. It's our show. We back this by math. We're not just saying that because we're Moonboy. The real Moonboy are the fucking idiot that tell you $1 million Bitcoin. They tell you $100,000 Bitcoin this year when clearly there's no supporting evidence. The chart's not pointing in that direction. The market, the overview. I mean, there's so many things that doesn't even make sense. Those are the guys you want to be worried about. You know what I mean? We're downplaying in here, even though we have all the receipts, even though we've been telling people what has happened. We have the charts.
That's what's funny. We are downplaying it, but it's cool.
It really is. So we're not saying that because we're trying to be different. No, we're just saying we understand the math. We know what we're doing. We know what we're saying. And we have to be this tone, because you blink and then you fucking miss. And then pulse chain launch a month later, the price is maybe a fucking dollar plus, and then you're going to be crying that you didn't buy the dip. That's what I'm trying to avoid.
Gonna be plenty of them too.
Yeah, sadly, yeah.
Well, I think that the title of the stream is that crabs are going to be millionaires. That's
exactly
pretty cool.
My people.
Crab gang. I'm still holding with $10.01 for the end of the year, but I would be willing to see the prediction of a 25% dip before the end of the year. But that doesn't mean trade. And if you want to trade, then you'll become the profit for somebody else.
I feel like we just saw a 25% dip, didn't we? Like from 0.5 to like 0.35 or something like this, from 0.5. So we already saw like 25%.
Oh yeah. When we went to Vegas, there was a big dip, wasn't there?
Yeah, I remember like that was like 50% or something. So but they're getting eaten up pretty quickly, right?
Yeah,
So
so
it's going
return
out
to
fine
the
right now.
61.8 and then boom. Like it's funny to me because it's like it runs 5 to 10x and then it slightly dipped, but then people forget the fact that it just ran 5x.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yep.
so that's why I'm like again, it's quant game, macro. If you look at, I'm sorry,
This
if
is
you look
why it
at
sounds
30,
ridiculous.
right? If you look at 30-minute, 1 hour chart, you know what I mean, even 4 hour chart, then yeah, maybe you could say, but like zoom out. Like what are we talking about? Like, and this is just price appreciation, not even talking about interest. Like on the net gain week over week, zoom out, look at the daily, weekly chart. Look, you don't see this theory of like, no, it pumps a lot, then it cools off. That's what the to the right means. It's not bearish. It's not, because we have to be very careful about the word that we use, because new people who have still PTSD, bad projects, when they hear that, they're going to completely exit and then they're going to be left behind. You understand? That's why we have to be very, very careful about the language. So they need to zoom out. Daily, weekly chart, not 1 hour charts. Bang, bang.
Oh, the crab is this one.
So this is a list of the different categories before turtles were added.
Yeah, this is, I was about to say, this is old. Yeah, we did. And we're going to add more too as we keep growing, because the next one are going to become the millionaires, and then we're going to keep adding to that. So that's going to be the ultimate hex flex.
So
did the
we
octopus
all
become a turtle? Is that what happened?
Yeah, oily octopus, because
are
we
all
had
super shark, or is there like winning whales here?
Well, not that I'm aware.
So we're
Be
all super
nice,
shark.
be nice. I'm in training. I'm not there yet.
And there's only one Poseidon, right?
Well, technically, yeah. But it's if you combine a couple wallets, the OAI just if you combine them, you get the.
So there's none in one address, which is probably a security thing more than anything. But then you have to start counting all the whales and super sharks as part of the Poseidon, right?
True.
If you're
That's
assuming
true.
that the original architect is the Poseidon, then you've got multiple whales and multiple super sharks and maybe even multiple dolphins making up that account. So that's good to know. I think what people are saying is that to be a dolphin, you have to have 1,000 T shares.
By
A
1100.
super shark is 10,000 ish,
11,000.
and a turtle is what, 100 T shares.
No, you'll be 10. No, because the dolphin gets you like the 1100 roughly. The squid, you need like 110, right?
Squid is 100, turtle's 10,
yep,
and a crab is 1.
At least, 1.1 T-shirt, yeah. Which is still, again, as the price continue trend, it's on its way to 10K, So the cool thing is we're getting all the squids very soon, probably in a month or so, all millionaires. And then the turtles are next, you know what I mean? And then we got just statistic. Again, this is just math. Every 40, this is what the trend is, every 47 days or so. Well, is it 47 or 49 days? We double, right? So
yeah.
Some of those squids are already millionaire. The lower tier squids are on their way, and then the turtles are already in the 6-figure range on the upper bound. So you double about once or twice, and then you're there. So 2022 should definitely be their year, like we've been talking about. So the year of the turtle, and they're my number one priority, right? Turtles and squid. So. And then and crab, and then pushing them up there, because by the time we get the crab to the millionaire status, the turtle is already in the 6 figures plus. So at that point, again, a couple doubling by the end of the year is going to be there. But the secret is they got to be staked. If you're not staked, you miss the move or you get left behind, then who are you going to blame, right? If you can't sit through the dip, if you can't understand the power of delayed gratification, then how do you expect to make the mad gains? Even some of us, whatever it is, Dolphin, Super Shark, we had to sit to some of the biggest dips. You know what I mean? Not 10%, but way more than that, especially during launch phase and stuff when there was maximum fear also. Now it's actually getting easier and easier because we're getting more and more validity. We're educating people on a daily basis, and we're onboarding people on a daily basis as well. So if anything, with all the information that's around, as well, we'll say it's literally on you. So you got to make sure that you take that personal accountability to read the information, watch the live streams, educate yourself, ask questions, repetition, right? Don't expect to learn everything in one day, right? You might have to revisit some content a couple of times, but then again, that's why we have it recorded. That's why we're here, when you can ask questions. So you literally
I think it's $40. I think if $40 hex makes all crab millionaires if one t-shirt is 25,000 hex. Mm-hmm. That's my math.
Nice.
And also, it's important to notice that those leagues are based off of T-shares. So it's not about the amount of hex you have. You can have a big amount of hex, but it's about the T-shares, and you increase your T-shares by staking for a long time. So
that's right.
Very important. Like you can actually like move to a higher league if you stake for a longer time. So
bang, bang.
So keep that in mind. Man, I'm seeing the sun rising. What the fuck? It's 6 a.m. I think I'm gonna hop off. I think I'm gonna go to sleep real quick. I have some things to do today. Man, it was nice talking to all of you. I literally just came back just to talk to you. Like I missed you guys. Gonna see you in December.
Nice.
Just wanted to remind everyone about like myself, what's going on. I finally settled in Dubai. Finally received my title deed.
Congratulations!
We didn't forget about you, Dan. Don't worry.
You did.
Yeah, on the certificate, it actually said.
I'm gonna come visit you.
Man, no problem. Like I on the certificate, it actually said that it's registered on the blockchain. So they actually advanced here. They're actually registering your certificates on the blockchain. So it's actually
perfect,
authentic, etc. And it can be faked. So that's crazy. If anyone goes through Dubai, I'm always open, right? I have nothing to do with my life. I have no responsibilities, no anything. I'm literally just sitting playing games all day. So if you're a gamer, also hit me up. I need some English-speaking friends. Yeah, that's all there really is. I'm gonna go to.
And
sleep.
how do people hit you up?
I'm not a personality, so I don't even have a Twitter or anything. So just like on Telegram, right? Dan27, just Dan27.
Cool.
On Telegram, if you ever come to Dubai or anything, I'm here. So it was nice talking to you guys.
Likewise.
Thanks for hopping on. Thanks for being here.
Catch you later, man. Thanks for coming through.
See you next time.
Anytime.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. See you guys.
Bang, bang. Yeah, for those who knew, we met Dan when we were in Vegas. Great kid. Awesome guy.
Definitely.
And then I'm looking forward to meet many more people on the next conference, which is cool. And hopefully the most of the world will be represented. Maddie, I think if we can get at least 4 continents represented, that'll be dope. That's my hope. Hopefully the C word thing is not going to cause problem for people to travel. That's my only thing.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking about that. And I think we'll have different solutions for different people.
Nice.
And also, while we're on the topic of hexconference.com, if you want to be a speaker and apply, go to hexsurvey.com. If you want to get a ticket, go to hexticket.com. And all that information is at hexconference.com. We're putting the program together, and we have not decided on the hotel yet. So please stop asking. I literally will not be able to decide on the hotel if everybody keeps asking, because I spend all my time responding to people who are asking about the hotel and asking like about the weird thing they were doing with fundraising, which is really simple. If you buy a ticket that's offered each week, if you buy 1 ticket ever for fundraising, then you get airdropped your Hex conference ticket. Easy enough.
Nice.
Hard to type out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, maybe you should make a quick video for that, man, so people can stop bugging you and just post that shit on Twitter.
I wanted to do that with you, Whales. So I need to get on that.
Yeah, just say one, brother. Just say one.
Awesome. Thanks. So we have 444 people watching, and they're all
awesome.
excited about the fate of the crabs. What else?
Yo.
So here's the thing, right? Whether you're a crab or plankton or whatever, fact of the matter is that that's going to be a function of the economic mass you bring to the table. It's not a function of anything else. And just like everybody else waited their time to get paid, you have to wait your time to get paid. Because what people don't understand is that when they're trading, they're just trying to do the same thing you do when you're staking. People just think they have to take action to lose money instead of just sitting there relaxing and making money. That's the problem that people have. And this is why you get dumb moves like 25% dips in Hex, which are gifts. Because you, after you just fucking 10, 20, 50x, what the hell are you even talking about a 50% dip for? Like, what? Like, you got to realize how dumb that sounds, right? Like, because you don't, because the thing about it is, it's all math. If you just went 10,000%, the fuck do you care about a 50%, 25% drop? What do you think is going to come after that? Another 25% dip? Like, nah, man. No, it's not. That's not what's going on here. What we got going on here is straight math. Non-stop. Every day, all day. And I'm going to break it down a little bit. I'm almost done with these charts. I'll let you guys keep chopping it up.
Well, it's like the famous bear trap that keeps leaving you behind.
I feel like I'm being disrespected. I feel like I've been just wasting my time with these past fucking months, bro. Like, that's exactly what I feel like right now. Exactly what I feel like. Yeah, like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Who gives a damn about a 5, 10, 25, 50% dip? Shit, bring it on. Hell, OA, please sell everything. Thank you. Now, don't wait. Now, what are we talking about? We've been talking about what we would wish to see for months. And what we would wish to see is a 50, 20, 75% dip, 80% dip, 90% dip. Hell yeah. Give me Hex at 4 cents again. Why not? You're out your mind. If you're a super shark or whatever you think you are, and you're not out here making fiat to earn more and not be selling your Hex, you're losing. That's what you're doing. Fact, not fiction. Because what's happening is that you're not paying attention to the big picture. Now, if you don't understand what the big picture is, I suggest you go look at an Ethereum chart and then at a Bitcoin chart and then come back. Leave. Do that right now. Come back after you're done. Because until you've done that, you can't comprehend what's going on these streams. You're used to little kid shit. This isn't no little kid shit over here. This is some real life grown man conversations that me and Karim and Maddie constantly have, and whoever comes and joins us. Because what we're trying to do is impart education on people that's going to change their lives, not make a quick bullshit trade. The fuck out of here with that. We're not about that. We're not here to talk about that. So if you're here for that, you're in the wrong channel. Period. It's called Quant Gang for a reason. It's not because we're here to get you paid. It's because we're here to help you create generational wealth. Because guess what? All those quants that you're used to hearing about, they're bootleg. They're not fucking real quants. You don't actually even know what the fuck they do. If you want, I can tell you, but it's going to be a waste of your time because they don't do shit. If they did shit, the market would be a different place in fiat land, wouldn't it? Crypto wouldn't exist. The world would be entirely different. So you have to have an understanding of the big picture before you can make outlandish statements that just don't coincide with what's actually going on. This is crypto over here. This is not a promise coin. So, you know, Quant clip
these comments are really good.
And a couple funny things too that I think that's why I'm just sometimes a little lenient, but I think some people, they got so hit so much with the PTSD of past experience that they have a hard time deprogram themselves. But then again, that's why we have, Maddie going live and talking about those things. So they need to, to get a couple of sessions with that and really dive into the math. Because this is the reason why numbers are so powerful and why I love numbers so much, because it helps, like Wells will say all the time, it helps clear the fogs, clear the edge, clearly black and white staring you in the face for you to understand. And this is also how you can catch the FutureUs and separate yourself from them to see how they've said something, but then when you try to backtest the math, the reasoning, and look at the receipts, it's not there. This is why they're wasting your time. When you came over here and you watch all the streams that we have done, all the things that we have said and stuff we have called out, it all checks out. The receipt is there because, again, it is just math. That's what makes the separation. And now, what do you see them all doing? They're all capitulating, right? Well, one at a time. Big boys starting to capitulate.
You know my favorite words, Karim.
It's a
No fucking choice.
Yeah, because now there's so much evidence pointing out what we've been saying, again, the math, that now they'll just literally look stupid if they keep saying that stupid narrative. And all of a sudden, it's too late for some of the people. And the other people, hopefully, they'll get to watch this early. They'll get to protect themselves. That's why I said on my last tweet, we're about to change more lives. So if you're blessed enough and you're watching our stream and you know some of those people, make sure to share the stream. Make sure to send them the information, the knowledge. Look at the past. Look at what we have said. Look at what has happened. So you can have a better predicament of what is to come. And we're going to be going to some of those charts today. And then I'm going to, again, talk about also macro and the DXY, which is important because the same pattern is literally playing out as we speak right now. Because the problem is, if you don't pay attention, once you get wiped out, it's done. There's no amount of sorry that can change the fact that, they can tell you sorry all they want, but you lost your money and you're never going to get it back. And this is maybe one of the last, well, I want to say last, but few opportunity of a lifetime you have. This wealth transfer will happen because money will go where it's the best treated, period, full stop, end of story. And at the very, very highest level, another way what Wells was trying to say is that when you have so much money, I tell you guys, it's just number on the screen. And then ultimately, what am I going to sell? Big amount. Sell for what? Buy what? Get a taxable event for no fucking reason? No. It grows so much and it's not dormant capital. The longer it stays there, dips or no dips, it doesn't matter. I'm getting paid every day. Just that alone is amazing. VC guys, they got to run around like chickens with their head cut off because they're burning cash. Inflation is killing them. They have to find somewhere to deploy the money. Even if it's a scam, sometimes they don't have a choice because they know that if they leave the money there, it's going to burn. With Hex, you have the privilege that time is on your side. Time works for you, not against you. That's what I gave you the analogy, kind of like a joke, but I wanted you to understand. You don't know what you want to do with your life. It's okay. Just stake the Hex. You know what I mean? Stake it for a year. Go soul searching. Figure out what you want to do. Then the stake ends. And then you figure out what you want to do yet? Deploy the capital. You haven't figured it out? Stake it again. Go figure it out. Come back. Once you figure it out, boom. Deploy the capital. Best part is, while you're waiting, money is working for you, not against you. That is unheard of. There's no other product in the world that does that. None. Zero, nada, niet. I don't know how to say another language. No.
Nicht
I want
in German.
I want you to understand that, especially in this world, this yield-deprived world, right? Well, that we're on. Negative yield even.
100%.
This is insane. This is insane.
Yeah, the fact that anybody can fathom a systemically risky scenario in Hex is hilarious. Literally fucking funny. Why? Because there's $20 trillion of negative yielding debt. Like, what planet are people on? I don't know, but it's not this one. It's not this one. Like you gotta always look at the big picture. And I'm sorry for being so aggressive, but damn, man, I've been saying the same shit for 9 months. I'm very close to just stopping streaming because it's getting annoying. Like, I really don't have the patience to keep repeating myself, at a very, come on. Like, how many times do I have to say the same? If it's somebody new, no problem. No problem. But if you've been around longer than a month, I got a problem. How many times do I have to? I mean, my kid, come on. Kids don't got to get repeated to this damn much. They don't. So what is going on with you adults that you can't fucking pay attention for longer than 2 damn seconds? That you're over here already running around like Karim just said, like a chicken with your head cut off. Why? Why? Sit your ass down, read a fucking book, and educate yourself so you're not out here looking like everybody else. Pro tip. Take that shit to the grave with you and give it to your kids while you're at it, because that's what's put me where I'm at now. You keep playing games with yourself, the market's going to play games with you too. And so will the rest of life. And that's a fact. So you really have to sit there and, like Karim said, figure it the fuck out. Because if you're not figuring it the fuck out, trust me, motherfucker, I'm not the only person out here doing this math. You're a fool if you think so. You're a fool if you think so. I did something because I was motivated to do it. I didn't have to do shit. All of you suckers could have sold back then and look foolish now. Right? Everybody. I didn't have to come on. We didn't have to do a quant gang. I could have told Maddie no thank you, and I would have been done my one video and that was it.
Yeah.
So people
It's
have
funny.
to understand. Yeah, I'm very fucking serious, yo. I'm very fucking serious.
You're absolutely right.
I'm very fucking serious right now. This is not a stock market. Period. So if you don't understand that, go write that shit down somewhere until you figure out what the hell it is I'm saying. Because if you don't, you're gonna get fucking wrecked. Period.
Yeah.
There's a reason the first thing that I show in my presentation is that fucking wrecked sellers meme. Because that shit is always true. Look at that damn chart. Look at that. You're worried about a dip? Man, you better get the fuck out of here. You're not paying attention. You're just not paying attention. You're just not. Straight
Don't be left behind.
forward. Yeah. You're going to get left behind.
Yeah.
100%. So, I mean, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, I think if you've been around long enough by now, you should know better. This too damn long in the game for this kind of talk. Dips after mega pumps. What is this? Fucking kindergarten?
And you know what's still even more funny is like if we were to, talk the trader talk for just two minutes. Another thing where they're flawed in their argument is that didn't they see, no offense, the whole market is crashing, but actually Hex is making new all-time high against Bitcoin and Ethereum. What they're failing to realize is actually a wealth transfer that's happening in the crypto space. They don't look at it because only look at the USD. They don't understand that Bitcoin is correcting. They don't understand that everything we've been talking about is happening in real life, how you can see the transfer. And then by the time the next quote unquote big pump comes around, we're going to be separating ourselves even more than that because we're decorrelated and against those other pairs just by staying where we are, barely dipping when the market is doing major correction. You can see those charts literally explode. This is why I also like, sometimes Access to Live post some of these charts that really, really shows that comparison just to show people like, hey, this is the real deal. And this is how we also decorrelated. And that's, again, just price appreciation, not counting the wealth transfer that's happening every day in the staker class. Remember the interview I did with Maddie. Remember the quote, right? He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. I need you to understand that. Drill that into your brain. Because if you don't, you're going to get left behind. This is the reason why, perfectly like Wells says, we don't have to do anything because we understand the math. We're getting paid every day. We're earning it because we already understand. If we stop doing any stream, it doesn't matter. We're getting paid. We're doing this because we want to. We're doing this because we want to help people. You know what I mean? That has always been my ethos because I'm at the point where it's just number on the screen. I just want to help people because that's what makes me happy. It is what it is. But at some point, people got to we can hold their hand as much as we want, but remember, it's personal accountability at the end of the day. It's blockchain, right? Got to do the work. Because if you don't come crying later saying, oh, you didn't know this and that. We're going to refer you right back to all those clips, right back to all those videos. We'll say, no. You knew. We told you. Here's the video. Here's the track record. So make sure you understand that. And now you add to the fact that this all, again, shenanigans, which we anticipated, SEC, China, whatever, you name it. Those are just narratives. The point of the matter is they're going to crash it. They were planning to do it Q3, right on clockwork, ready for Q4 wintertime. Winter's coming, right? The hashtag is about to be trendy very, very soon. So prepare for that. And then actually, Wells, if you want, while you're preparing for the chart, I can just go first, show my
go ahead, because it's gonna be complimentary to what I'm gonna say, because I actually do want to talk about the dollar and what's happening in the actual fiat markets first. Because we've been talking about this since freaking April. There's a crash coming. I've showed people how and why. So if you're new, okay. If you've been around, you should fucking know by now. So, and again, if you're holding anything other than Hex, I feel bad for you, son. Straight up.
Yep. It's just literally from a logistics standpoint, from a strategy standpoint, for a legality standpoint. Yeah, you're taking L's left and right. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. And if you knew, like I tweeted earlier today, and shout out to the gentleman that actually posted that old videos. I just retweeted out of him. Go back and watch that Quant Gang 17 that we did, because a lot of the things that we literally called then for Q3, Q4 is happening live right now. So you'll get to see, again, the receipts. You get to see the trends, all the stuff that we talked about. It doesn't get any easier than that. Even earlier today on the Richard stream, when he was talking to Wendy, like, at some point, not that he got frustrated, but he made that clear. I was like, dude, he's been saying this shit. We've been saying this thing. Like, go check the record. Like, you will know what's up. But yeah.
I don't like her.
I'm sorry?
I don't like her. She's a furu.
Oh, yeah. No, she is. Oh, that was
if people haven't
been
around, she's a furu.
Definitely is. She pretend like it's new. No, we were trying to set up interviews way back when, and she disregarded us like it was like no big deal. And then now, like, no, we
she treated Hex like a scam.
Yeah, we don't forget here. We may get an apology, we might forgive a little bit. We definitely don't forget. That's for sure. Fuck that.
All right, we deserve more than an apology, whatever that means.
Yes. We'll talk to the audience. Yeah, share screen. Boom. Window. Yeah, Maddie, let me know when we're on.
I feel sorry for myself because I own $20 of Ethereum 2.0 on Coinbase, which doesn't exist yet, and I hope they get sued for it.
Wait, Maddie, are you saying you own the Promise coin?
No, I'm serious. I mean, like, it's a real thing.
Security.
They locked my money. They said you can't withdraw it. I'm like, it doesn't even exist.
No, it's hilarious.
Anyway.
Yeah, let me know when you're able to see my screen.
You're funny, Maddie. Talking about I own $20 in ETH 2.0. And I feel sorry for myself.
Yeah, hey, in Hex, we talk to our future self a lot, so we refer to the third person live, which is funny.
No, yeah, I just thought it was funny because he's talking about ETH 2.0. Like, come on, bro. Ain't no ETH 2.0.
Yeah. We have to wait and see.
But my Coinbase says that there is. Like, that.
Yeah, Coinbase does a lot of things, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Ain't that hilarious?
Oh, did you guys hear that the SEC told them to shut their little lending operation down?
Yeah. And they went after what's his name?
Oh, the other Promise coin. What is it called? Celsius? They got to shut it down too.
I mean, just let's talk about that for like a second, right? It adds another thing if you understand business logic. Like, not only with the undeniably best out there, highest yield, blah blah blah, but even your second supposedly competition is getting shut down. The third that was supposed to come into market is not even making an appearance because SEC slapped that hand right off the bat. Where else are you gonna go?
Oh, listen to me. Pout for them. Oh, poor them. It's too bad they don't know how to read. They should have fucking read. Told them motherfuckers. Right. As soon as I became public, I told people, get the fuck out of Celsius. Part looks good, but you don't know what you own. I told people that shit is not what you think it is. I wasn't trying to be super bearish or whatever then because I understood people in the community owned it. But guess the fuck what? Wake the fuck up.
Yep. Get the fuck out. You want to know something else that's funny? Even if it wasn't for that in the bear market, because you need to understand their operation, how they actually able to create the yield.
Correct.
So now, as people are getting more and more wrecked because they are there trading again, becoming the liquidity, they're making less and less money because there's no more gamblers out there because they all got wrecked. Therefore, the exchange are borrowing the USDC or whatever they're lending out there less and less. Therefore, the yield has to go down. So now you're taking more and more risk because you're getting less rewards for the risky stuff you're already fucking doing. Hashtag not your key, not your crypto, and then all the other aboves. So it's just like, what? Now you got regulatory uncertainty added to that. They don't understand. If this thing gets shut down or they file Chapter 11, whatever bankruptcy, I mean, knock on wood, I'm not wishing that to happen. Like your funds can just be frozen, and then there's some type of legal reason. Then you may not see that money for a while. Hashtag mankouts. You know what I mean? Like they don't understand. It's insane. I read something even where Binance started to attack people even out of Singapore, and then they're trying to shut some stuff down out there because of, again, dealing with the regulators. So all these counterparty risks that you're doing, again, you're trying to pick up the pennies in front of the freight train. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. And as the bear market continues, your yield's going to get lower and lower. Makes no sense. Hex fix all that. Maddie, let me know when. My screen is shared. Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure. All right. So rule number one, this is the Bitcoin premium, right? I always like to start with that. Kind of a good joke. Look, it's still negative as fuck. It's crazy. Negative 13%. It's just stupid. And then today almost did about negative 12 or 11.
Looks like his internet dropped.
Yeah, looks like we lost him. Another way to find the Bitcoin premium or the what do you call it, the arbitrage value is by going on grayscale.com. I actually throw the link up there. I posted it the other day. Give me a second. Because this is you don't got to pay for. I mean, it's the internet, right? If you know how to look, you'll find everything for free. So, if you've been around the internet long enough, then you'll figure that shit out. So give me a second. I will post that momentarily. Just need to find it. Because I don't really look at this crap, but other people do. So let me hook you guys up. Let me just find this here. All right, got it. So with this link I'm about to share, where the hell is it? What you'll see is the here we go. You'll see the let me throw the link to Maddie. Here you go, Maddie. Now when you scroll down below the chart, you're gonna see below the performance chart, this is gonna be an ugly chart with some lines on there. What you want to look at is the actual price, the prices below that, and you're gonna see the market price per share, and then you're gonna see the holdings per share, meaning what it's actually worth on paper versus what people are willing to pay for it. Now that value on the right side, I'm sorry, I'll wait for you to get there, Matty. You keep scrolling down. Hold on. Yeah, you gotta wait for it to load. It's a crappy site. You gotta just click on performance at the top, and it'll just go there and load on its own leisure. There you go. Just scroll down a little bit, and there you go. Right, those two values right there. The one on the left is the actual value that people are paying. That's the market price for the GBTC shares. The value to the right is the actual value of the holdings in Grayscale's portfolio. So what that means is the value on the right should constantly change to reflect the reality, which is what's on the left. Okay, so this is what Karim was just talking about. And odds are that's not even updated. His value is probably more up to date because this is probably just end of day 4 o'clock at the market close. I'm not sure what the price of Bitcoin is right now. 41,853. I'm not sure how that would translate into the share value at this point because I'm not sure how many Bitcoin they're actually holding. But if you look at the chart, I think it's probably a little bit up. Yeah, it's a little bit up. So this premium's probably compressed a little bit from that point in time to now. But long story short, it's not looking good for Bitcoin, right? Because when the value is constantly below where the market is trading, that's negative. It's not a positive. And the market, has to constantly adjust to that reality. And that's why Bitcoin is not as above 65,000. Can't be. It's not worth that. It's not worth 100,000. It's not worth $1 million. That's moon boy talk because it's not based on anything but bullshit. Over here, we don't do that. This is no moon talk. We're not moon boys. We stick straight to quantitative analysis, and that's why we're rarely wrong, if ever. Yeah. We just stick to the math, man. Math provides clarity. If you're out here twiddling your thumbs, looking up your asshole, what you're gonna find is tops. And that's what you're going to buy. And what you're going to do is you're going to sell bottoms. That's what you're going to do. So whoever sold at 8 cents, whoever sold at 3-4 cents when we was at Vegas, all you people selling at 12 cents, everybody selling at 25, everybody selling at 35. Thank you. Please continue. Because the fact of the matter is that what we're doing is buying your bags because you don't know what you're doing. And that's a reflection on you. It's not a reflection on anybody else because we're here letting you know for free what is going on. If you don't act on it, that's your own problem, not anybody else's. So buyer beware and seller even be more aware, right? Selling irresponsibly is the most dangerous thing you could do when it comes to hex. And a lot of people do it because they don't understand what they're doing. And that's the problem. This is why when people talk about dips or whatever, you got to be very careful. Hex doesn't have bear markets. In fact, what you saw after that first pump in May of 2020 was what was supposed to happen because this is math and code. And if you understand that, then you're good. But if you don't, then you need to learn because Hex is never, ever probably going to have a long ass sideways move like that again because the odds of that type of liquidity being introduced into this system at this point in time is very almost impossible. Now, why is that? Well, if you look at the dollar value of what's sitting in the market, it is not as sizable as it was during that point in time. So that dollar value literally cannot come back into the market. It's not mathematically possible. I am sorry. So this notion of another 7-8 month sideways move is very, very far removed from what could actually happen because everything has changed. You have people like me and Karim explaining shit now. So people that find this and Maddie and everybody, right? Whoever understands the system, right? People that speak of it quantitatively, okay? Those are going to be the people that and those that listen, confirm, right? Confirm what's being said because that's the most important thing, right? Us being right has nothing to do with us. Nothing. Has everything to do with the fact that we're understanding the mathematics behind what is actually going on because guess what? This is actually cryptographic currency. Whereas everything else is a promise coin and it's just a bootleg stock market. So that's very important to understand because if you don't get that, you will get left behind and you will become suicidal because you held a big bag. And we just got a tweet from Richard. This is muy importante. Let's see what it is. It's probably just him announcing testnet, which we already know is live. Yep, the Pulse chain testnet is live. New repo and instructions, faucet for test coin, yada yada. Let me give you the link, Maddie, so you can post that in the chat as well. Oh, you already got it. Cool.
Cool. So pulsechain.com says the Pulse Chain testnet is live. New repository for the software and instructions on GitLab, faucet for testnet coins, and front end for staking Pulse and delegated staking aren't released yet. Your existing ETH balances become TPLS in this testnet. Testnets are for testing and bug finding. And that means that you can't buy Pulse yet. So don't let scammers fool you. Good to know.
What's that, man? I didn't hear the last part.
There's gonna be scammers trying
no, not that part. After
sell
that.
Pulse. Oh, and that's good to know.
Gotcha. Yeah. You already see, like, if you actually go on Etherscan and type in PLS, you're already gonna see there's plenty of scams out there. Plenty already, which is crazy because it's literally just Yep.
Mr. Hex predicted Pulse Chain testnet would be released on Hex Day 666 today.
Well, he did.
Nice.
I remember him saying that. Yep. Yeah, good call, bro. You definitely did say that. Definitely did. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because that number is typically connotated with negative things, but if people only actually knew, it'd be a different world. That's for sure. Because it's actually not, but not going to get into that. Not really important, but it just goes to show all the layers of lies, right, that we have to deal with. Like, even from this perspective, like, everything Richard does is with reason, right? We even talked about this before, I'm pretty sure, at some point. Like, it's just, it's real, bro. It's real. And with time, everything always comes to light, right? Just like now, all the fool rules are bowing down. It's okay. There's many more fool rules to ignore. Don't worry about them. They can bow down. Not relevant at the end of the day. And that's why we just continue to do what we do, which is the right thing, right? Which is educating people the right way, giving them the right information, and not being beholden to anybody. We are beholden to ourselves and no one else. This is why we can speak truth and not even worry about it. Because we don't have to, right? We don't have to care. We can just do what we want and speak honestly from the heart with facts and figures, right? Whatever matters to us, because that's the reality of what we're doing here. We're here volunteering our time to educate people at no cost, because we're not here to get paid. We're here to change the world. It's completely different, right? You're used to people wanting to take from you. We don't want shit from you, but your attention, if you're willing to give it, so that you can actually help yourself, because we don't need anything from you. Richard isn't asking you for anything. In fact, if you don't get it, he tells you stay the fuck away. We don't need you. And I parrot the same exact verbiage. We don't need you. Just like we haven't needed anybody this whole time. Just like Gucci doesn't need anybody. Just like Versace doesn't need anybody. Just like Yves Saint Laurent doesn't, or Saint Laurent, whatever, doesn't need anybody, right? I don't see Tom Ford commercials anywhere, do you? Right? These are the facts. Understand quality when you see it. Otherwise, you get wrecked. Again, everything ties back to you getting wrecked. Now, why is that? It's because that's how it works. If you don't have, just like Karim said, something you can back test and verify that is actually true, guess what? You just bought into a fantasy. And there's nothing you can do about that, because you're ultimately going to get wrecked, and that's just the way it goes. There is no two ways about it, unfortunately. Ask whoever was holding, what was that one yesterday, Maddie? I don't know if you saw it. It was some DeFi protocol supposedly about cheap gas, and they ended up like going to zero on a $24 million gas transaction with no ETH value. Like, it was clearly a scam. But these are the things people run into because they believe unverifiable information. I don't know why, but it's what people do.
Yep.
I wish I could speak to it, but I can't, because I just don't like, my mind doesn't work like that. So I don't really know what to say, but people do it all the time, right? And this is why I'm so adamant and so aggressive about what I'm sharing, because this isn't a joke. This is real. This is real.
This is the most funniest thing. How long did I drop? I've been talking to myself for like a while.
Serious?
I'm dead serious.
I told you that.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm sorry, bro.
Oh my God. How long ago? How many minutes?
I basically did the Bitcoin premium for you, bro. And then I just started rambling. Go ahead. You might as well start from the top. I haven't gotten to any macro stuff.
Oh my God. I've been talking for like 30 minutes then.
Nah, it hasn't been that long, bro. Has it?
I messaged you on Telegram to tell you that would happen. Because you only use one screen.
Man, this is how Richard feels. Man, this is frustrating.
Yeah,
it's
happened to me a while ago too.
It's been 13 minutes.
13 minutes. What was the last thing you heard?
Start at the top, brother, for real. You can skip the Bitcoin premium if you want. I kind of did that for you.
Okay, cool.
But then Richard tweeted, so we didn't talk about nothing else.
All right, so let me share back. Hey, attitude of gratitude, control the mind. That is funny. I was so into it. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why this.
That's how it goes, bro. You good? You good? Just get it back going.
All right, all right. Let me know, Manny.
You're up.
See my screen? Okay, just briefly. So I probably Wells did already. So yeah, it's negative, which is obviously saying that they're buying Bitcoin right now at 36, 37K. Be aware of that. Obviously, that's where it's pointing now. And very important too, same here, business as usual. Grayscale premium in terms of their holding, still very stagnant. They're not really buying anything. So just keep that in mind, which is very, very important because they expect the price to go most likely lower before you start seeing more buying. So, and then moving on to the chart to back up that, I'm going to go back to Bitcoin real quick. Here on the daily chart, again, it's that fake out that we've been talking about for a very, very long time. So a couple of things here. The Bitcoin premium is right now right around here, 37,000, 36,000, because again, negative 13%, 12 to 13% for where we are now. You're looking at right around that red zone, which is the next stop because, the arcing has already reversed. Told you guys many streams ago. The moment you fell out of this angle, 45 degrees, the trend already changed. It's bearish. DMI back it up here. More selling pressure than buying pressure. Confirmation of change of trend. And then, watch out below. And very important, this long-term trend line is very important. When that breaks, it's going to create way more shenanigans. Bearish cross is about to happen again. This was a joke because the crypto furrows only look at the 4-hour charts or whatever and tell you, oh, look, we're going back to like all-time high, whatever. And then you get spanked over here, not understanding that you got to look at it on the daily chart and you got to make sure not only the price is above, price needs to be above and you need to have the bullish cross. So Bitcoin got bullish for only about like a day or two, which was, again, by the definition, price is above the moving average and you have a bullish cross. So it was just bullish, just for about a couple of days, which is the perfect definition of a bull trap. And then they spank you right back down. Price went below again. And then now we're about to get the cross negative again, which is the same thing. Where have we seen this before? Very simple. We've seen it here, spank down. We have seen it here, fake out, spank down. Going back to 2018, which is the most relevant bear market we're going to study here. Same thing. When it went below, never went back up after that. Spank over here, spanked over here, spanked. And then bear market, which is the most vicious part about the bear market, is not just about the price going down. It's about how it's very granular. It grinds you. It really, really switched the money from the impatient to the patient. This is when the degens goes really, really crazy. They start tweeting saying, hey, Bitcoin is a stable coin. They start doing more 100x leverage, being liquidated left and right. Liquidation bots is literally working overtime over here. And then at the same time, the dollar is rising and strengthening, which adds as another selling pressure, pushing the price down to a point where we get the capitulation and then the trap down, things traps and fall. When we go over here, we see the same thing. Blow off top, dead cat bounce, return to normal, get spanked, back by the DMI here, selling pressure comes back in, market makers switch the setup, things getting dumped. I expect back to 37K very, very soon. It's going to trend towards that direction, break that long-term trend line, probably dance around here for a while. And then from there, we're going to get the trap down because you get to see it on the weekly chart. It's going to be even more insane because I want you to see. DMI already told you the story. Look at it right here. Bang, bang, bang. Lo and behold, fellas, it's official. It crossed orange again, which means more selling pressure than buying pressure. Market maker is about to switch the narrative again because we had that over here. We had the little dead cat bounce. People told us we're going back to new all-time high, which we didn't. We made a lower low, which is bearish. And now even the buying pressure went back down, crossed against. So expect it to cross below here, get to hang out in the red box, trend around here, 30K or 30 to 35K, and then trapdoor 50% dip. You get roughly about $18,000 Bitcoin, which is right around where that long-term trending line is going to be. So it's a play we have seen before, literally right here. Can't make this shit up. This is literally where we are. We got the def, cool off, little blue, fake out, switch back to orange, and then fall below the moving average. Quicksand stays here for a while. You get grind. This is a weekly chart, 6 months right here. You get grind and then trapdoor to the moving average. This is what we're going to see. Below the moving average, stay around here, hang around for a while, possibly 3 to 6 months, which is going to be the representation of what you're seeing over here. Let the moving average catch up a little bit, maybe 18K. And then somewhere around here, get the trap down. So, but I expect one more small bounce. We're going to go below the moving average, stay a little bit. Then we're going to go retest the moving average, get rejected, go back down, trap down. So expect the same thing here. But this is no joke. This is already telling you market maker is changing the game. So be prepared. Now, moving to Ethereum real quick. Similar things. And it's funny, I got to give a little bit credit to Ethereum. I really thought, and I tweeted about it, oh, look, it put up a good fight. Came back here, retake that long-term trend line, but barely last couple of days, which was right around when Bitcoin got spanked, right? But again, bound liquidity. Ethereum has no choice. Bitcoin nosedive. Ethereum nosedive as well. DMI switch bearish. Trend is changing. Now we're all down below here. And chances are moving average is going to start catching back down. And the crazy part is when this thing breaks down below the 200 and start doing this over here, this is when you got to be careful and watch out below because it was going to make more sense on the weekly chart here. Next stop is here, people. We're talking $2,000 Ethereum, okay? Where have we seen this before? We've seen this movie again. Same thing, right around here. Came down, did a bounce, then went back below. And the moment it goes below, let me do a measure move to remind you guys. Same thing, trap door. First stop, 56% dip. Second stop, it can go all the way to 81%. A proper bear market, okay? I hope it doesn't go that low and only do 50%. But then again, if Bitcoin drop 50%, chances are you're going to get that 81% because, again, the bond liquidity is going to push it down. And it's doing the same thing, again, backed by the DMI. We'll get that little bounce, a little fake out over here, acted like, oh, look, it's going to go bullish again, right? Going back to new all-time high. And then, nope, lower low, you're getting spanked. Then the green cools off, the blue, cools off. Selling pressure take over here. And then literally it stay orange for like 6 months before crossing blue again, ever. Which means when this thing ends cooling off, which chances are Bitcoin continue to trend downward toward the end of the month, add selling pressure to Ethereum. Ethereum start to trend towards that moving average of 2,000. This guy's going to start perk up over here and basically do the same thing we have seen over here. And then it's a wrap. So if you own a bunch of Ethereum right now, you have been warned. Prepare yourself. There's a little bit left of bullishness still here, but as you can see, it's fading and it's fading very, very fast. So next up is 2K. And then after that, if we do a trapdoor for 2K, by the time the moving average comes over here, you can easily look at, again, $1,100, $1,200 Ethereum. So you got to be prepared and warned for that. And ultimately, it's backed by what we're seeing with the DXY, which is the dollar index, which is now the hottest chart in town. And to zoom back out to explain to people, it's that same fractal from back in 2018, okay? From in late April to early May 2018. Why is that relevant? Because if you go back quickly here on the Bitcoin chart, it coincides perfectly with the bear market, the peak. Late April, early May, got spanked, rejected over here. And then from there, just death, slow grind. Dollar gets stronger, which add more selling pressure. Bitcoin price can't really go up. Stays here. People get liquidated left and right, losing their patience. Degens losing their money. And then trapdoor. So when you see the same pattern creating here from the DXY, which is why that red zone is very important, W pattern over here, which is bullish, if you just look at it like a chart, and you get to see how this is important because this low over here is a higher low compared to here. So it's a bullish W. And now we are broke out of that consolidation zone, and it's like blue sky breakout pretty much. So when you look at it and you can see supported by the DMI here, and even on the weekly chart, you see the same thing. 2018 popped out after the little W, bear market full force. Lo and behold, same thing here. W pop out. First stop, we're gonna go here, 94, almost 95. And then as it gets stronger and stronger, which for the new people, when the dollar gets stronger and there's more bullish buy over here, that means big money is exiting into cash, into safety, right? Because they fear, you know what I mean, it's gonna be deflationary. So, and there's also stagflation at play, but they're moving out because they know that we're going into a bear market and the risky asset goes first, right? And Bitcoin is still called a very risky asset. And, you know, remember, those people bought their Bitcoin way back when it was like, you know, $1,000, $5,000 even. So it's easy for them to cash out now because they know most likely they can buy it back cheaper for later on. This is why this is so important. And it's in congruence to everything we have been saying. Stronger dollar, following the fractal, Bitcoin gets spanked, then Bitcoin spank Ethereum, and then everything goes to crap. Meanwhile, Hex, kings of the bear market, is just ready to explode because the stronger this guy becomes, the stronger the value proposition of Hex becomes. Because in the bear market, the king is Hex because it's the game of yield. It's the highest yield there is. This is why it's so important. Fixed product becomes the most important thing because price is barely getting the volatility it used to have, and it's trending downwards and people are feeling that they're losing their wealth. This is the reason why Hex is going to be able to sell more lives, because people are going to be able to protect themselves before that happens. So once again, you have been warned. This is no joke. Wells, any comments, please?
Oh man, I don't know.
Hopefully I haven't dropped off.
Nah, you good, bro. You still on.
Woo, I did it again twice. That's awesome. Repetition. I'm used to it.
Nah, you good, bro. Luckily you didn't drop off this time. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, cool. Just had to make sure it doesn't sound like I'm making a sound. Anyway. Yeah, so I think it's just like you said. I think you know, right now a lot of people are about to learn how markets really trade because they're under this impression that they have an idea, but they don't. Right now, Bitcoin is literally preparing itself for degradation.
Yes, sir. Well said.
You're seeing people buying the dip here, not sure why. Don't see anything bullish going on. RSI is just like you said, below the middle band. MACD below middle band. Nothing is bullish about what Bitcoin has going on right now. And then on top of that, I guess let me just show my little lines real quick.
Please. Let me end my subs here. Boom, so you can have it.
Yeah, let me.
Everybody hit the like and subscribe button or get out.
All right, I'm working with one screen, so bear with me.
Yes, and shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks for being here and staying here.
Can you guys see?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, cool. So if you look at these lines I have here, these are my trend lines, proprietary. You can't get this anywhere else, and they work. So when price gets into this is a trap gap. This is what I call a trap gap, because what it looks like it's time to buy. No, it's not. And look what's happened before. This is the top. April 14th. Does this look bullish at all to you? I mean, honestly.
Listen, maybe to the furrows, you know.
Well, the furrows are being paid to say this. I'm not talking to them.
Yeah,
they don't matter. I'm talking to the crowd, right?
They're forever bullish. They're gonna tell you it's gonna go to $1 million.
100%.
Oh yeah, my favorite. It's supposed to go to 100K before the end of the year. Now they're trying to act like they never said that. You know, it's the most funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. They might start removing videos. Watch out.
Do you remember people talking about 200,000 by the end of the year? I remember people talking about 280,000 by the end of the year too.
I thought it was supposed to be at 60K by October. Remember?
Well, I thought it was supposed to be at 60K by September or August. I don't know. I keep losing track, bro. I don't
It depends on the ones. Yeah, exactly.
Right, because this was what like 2 weeks ago. We were going straight to
Mhm.
65,000 according to everybody back then. Because people don't understand. This is a stock market. This is not crypto. There is zero reason for this to constantly go up. In fact, everybody's favorite guy, what is this guy's name? What Plan B or whatever?
Yeah.
100 trillion, whatever. I don't know his name.
Yep. Plan B.
Okay. But that guy, he's going to learn that his model is just a model.
Yeah. It works until it doesn't, right?
Yeah. So, you know, it's not to talk shit, okay? It's about understanding how markets work and how math works. I don't do models for a very good reason. I give you probabilistic outcomes. Karim gives you probabilistic outcome. Maddie gives you probabilistic outcomes. Why is that? You don't see us creating no stupid models. We don't need to. Because we just look at the data as time passes and we adjust our worldview with respect to what's real and what's not. And what's real is that Bitcoin is fucked.
Yep.
Why? Why is the question? Well, because price structure is bearish. That's it. Now, how do I know it's bearish? Well, let's look at a 3-day point of view. That looks mighty juicy, doesn't it? Now, look at what we got here. Now, I don't like to use the MACD like Karim because for me, it's too much. So I like to separate mines and stack them just to give me the same view that Karim has. It's just different, but same exact thing. So for me, I like to watch RSI on what it does around the mid bands. Because this 45 to 55 gap range is what defines bullish bearish.
Yep. That's why I focus on the DMI because he brings it all in one. So I can just have one to see. But yeah, it's exactly what you said.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody has that. Like for me, that's too much. That's why I like to split it. Because it's the same thing. With the DMI is the same thing as MACD and RSI compacted.
Yeah, because it's a movement indicator.
Yes. Same thing. Yeah. I just can't look at all that shit on one chart. So I look at it like this, but it's the same thing. Now, what does this remind you of? This looks very familiar to me.
When he goes below that band, trap door. It's over. He never cross above. It just do a little relief rally, weaker and weaker pumps, and then but still. And this is literally what kills people. This is what bear market is about. People think they know bear market. Nah, you're in the good part of the bear market. The bad part is when the price barely move and he just squeeze you like a fucking lemon. You just like you get just frustrated by the day. It keeps going lower and it goes low very slow because he has to trick you. Oh, it's the dip, buy the dip. And then boop, and it dips. But no, it's just another dip. And then another narrative. It just keep dipping, and then you run out of money.
Yep. Check this out. Look at where my crosshair is right now. It's this is a 3-day candle per each one. So the one you're looking at right now is for the 14th, 15th, and 16th of April. That one histogram of the MACD right there. That was the top, folks. At 65K, that's what the oscillators were telling us the velocity of price was at that point in time. Now, speed is one thing. Velocity is another. Acceleration is another.
Yes.
And then you have jerk thereafter. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to your Calc 1 book because you forgot.
Yeah.
Right? This is basic stuff. This is very, very basic stuff. This is how I look at markets because this is what is reality. It's not what some fool says on TV. It's not what some loser writes in a report. If you don't understand it, you're fucked. Period. End of story. Because you're going to make the wrong decision. Every time. It doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong. This is why when you come and watch us, we don't tell you what to do. We tell you what it is and we tell you to go confirm it. Very distinct difference. Very distinct difference.
And also, Hexicans, very important. Wells, if you can please go back. What's very important about what Wells just showed on that chart, and I'm trying to explain in simple terms for those who don't understand, like acceleration, stuff like that. This is literally the proof why it was also a bearish divergence that we've been calling out for a while. Because the bulls tried and came with similar force to some degree that when the top was at 65K, but the price never got there. The price stopped at 53. So what Wells is able to show you is that the velocity was trying to come in. But the problem is they got met by a wall. And the wall said not today. And when you get that same amount of kind of like buying trying to come in terms of how fast, how accelerating the buying comes in, but then the price only get to 53K and not 65K, that means there's an equal opposite force that's meeting that buying pressure to push the price down. This is why we saw those massive candles, probably an institution that was like one day, it was like on 1 hour candle, there's like a $2 billion that got sold, some crazy number like that. And that's just them exiting, you know, and they're like, all right, that's the dead cat, 53, I'm good. I don't need to wait for 60 or 55, right? Well, they say, I'm good right here. I'm going to take my chips off the table. And this is the confirmation that we were waiting for the return to normal, that, hey, it's a wrap. Time to go home. And then now the bulls are, you know, running with their tails between their legs. And then now it's like, you better pray that you're not going to have a lower low. But we're here to tell you, we've seen this movie before. So we're not going to give you fake opium. We're going to tell you to prepare for it like it's going to happen. And it's going to be very, very slow. So you have to learn how to be patient. You have to learn how to delay gratification. And Wells, don't you know about a thing that kind of do that?
I think I might know something that does that. Might have an idea of something that exists. It's kind of like that, sure.
And that's
it's funny, man. It's real funny. We're out here giving people basic steps on how to create generational wealth, and they're like talking about pump and dumps. Like I just can't. I can't wrap my head around it. Whoops.
Amen. So yeah, that was just a little parenthesis I wanted to show people. So yeah, protect yourself. If you own still Bitcoin, I know some of you guys out there, you know, want to DJ a little bit, but again, prepare yourself. Protect your wealth, because the T-share is not waiting for nobody. And when the price leaves the building again, you thought your Bitcoin used to buy you a lot of hex. That's about to change very, very fast. Because while everybody's worried just about the price, this and that, because the bear market, you know, things tend on USD tend to trend down. But the ratio between hex and Bitcoin and hex and Ethereum is about to be even more insane, to a point where having a Bitcoin compared to hex is going to be almost insignificant. The same way a T-share is going to be more expensive than a Bitcoin. And you're going to have people coming with 10 Bitcoin think they're going to be whales. They'll barely be like crabs, maybe turtles. I see a forecast a future like that very, very soon. And you have the ability to not just front run, but to understand what you own, so you can play chess, not checkers, be stress-free, and go live your best life. That's all we want for you. Very simple. Okay?
Extremely simple. This is why this is why we break these concepts down to the point where both of us are explaining it, even though one of us just said it, or three of us, right? I mean, just look at the motion in the ocean, right? Think of this as a ball, because this is how I look at markets. I look at it as a moving object, because that's what it is, right? And when a ball bounces, it has to come back down. The question is how and why. Right. And if you don't know how to figure that out, like I've showed people over and over, Karim has showed people over and over, Maddie has shown people over and over, you're never going to get it, because you're not putting in the work. Now, if this chart looks bullish to you just because it's above these lines, I understand. But that's because I haven't done this yet. Hold on.
And it's about to change by the end of the week.
Hold on. Karim, you don't even know. It gets better. Because it was never bullish, my friend.
Yep, because when that long-term trend line is lost, oh boy, we're going to officially enter the panic zone.
This here is about to get gone, period. Because this here made it, like that's it. It dictated that's what's going to happen. How? Because it never got above this line.
Exactly. Got spanked.
It couldn't even try. The one time it tried, no thank you. Never again.
And for those who play with balls before, bouncing like a, bouncing ball or even basketball, what happened when, you drop and then you let it bounce? Guess what? The bounce gets weaker and weaker, right? Because gravity, aka DXY, dollar index, is reminding you who run this planet. And it says, come back here. Come back. That's why your analogy is so good. And that thing is out there breaking out like crazy. Look at this.
Yep.
If you don't know this is DXY, just look at like a chart. Who can tell me this is not a bullish chart?
100%.
And it's
Let's break it
printing
down.
Yeah.
Completely inverse of Bitcoin. How about that? Above the mid band.
Mm-hmm.
Above the mid band and bounced off of it 2 times.
Making higher lows too.
Oh yeah, making higher lows. I mean, look, I even have a little wedge here, or a little ascending triangle here, or whatever you want
He's
to call
like,
it.
yeah, Wells, I ain't going back down there. I'm good. I'm staying above 50.
Chilling right here.
I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to rip.
Yep. Not even playing games. It's not even playing games.
A lot of rooms to run. Mm-hmm. And that's on the 5-day chart. By the time you put it on the weekly, it's even more savage.
Yep. Exactly. So that's the whole thing, right? It's like, well, what exactly is going on? If you don't understand how markets trade, you're not going to know. Right? It's one thing to think you have an understanding. It's another thing to just not have one. Mm-hmm. So when you come to terms with that realization, life is good, because what that tells you is that now you know where to go and search for information. There's nothing wrong with not knowing. What's wrong is staying ignorant. That's what's wrong.
Exactly.
That's when you lose. And that's why we don't tolerate ignorance here. We don't tolerate furu nothing. We don't do none of that here.
Look at this.
I
love
talk.
This.
Yeah, we real talk over here. We're not here playing games. We're here educating people.
And look at that inverse correlation. It's literally almost perfect. Like you can see every time you get the big spine, Bitcoin comes down. And then
best is when they move together, right? I think that's the best, because it fools people into thinking that it's bullish, but it's completely the opposite, right? We talked about this for this whole time until it finally topped out in April. We literally talked about this for 4 months, bro. Because this is what it was doing. You had the dollar going up, you had Bitcoin going up all the way into the top. All the way.
Yes, sir. And the cool thing, if you don't mind zooming out a little bit, we can show the fractal from 2018 to show the pattern. This is what's happening. So as you guys can see, after the first 2 bounce, and then we got into what Wells called the grinding zone, which is the true bear market. This is really when the DXY started to rip. And the higher it ripped, the less volatile Bitcoin became. Still trending down, make no mistake. But this is how that analogy of the bouncing ball is losing steam. Number one, there's no more hands bouncing it, so it's losing the buying pressure. It's just doing the regular bounce, but the gravity is getting stronger and stronger. So each bounce is getting weaker and weaker because it's being pushed down to a point where when it becomes like static and basically reach the floor, that's when the trap door opens, and then you thought the floor was the ceiling, then there's a hole that opens up in the second crater. You know, like when you have something that's so heavy and you start to create a hole. Bye-bye, yeah, exactly.
Should go straight down like a rock, like an anvil even.
It really is. And you can look at this. This is a little tweet right here. Seriously. W pattern, breaking out, doing the fractal. You can't make this shit up. By the time it goes to 94, which is right around that W really breakout, 94 to 95, because it runs fast, Bitcoin is 30K or below. It's going to be insane. Yeah, that's the last line right there. Yeah, you're right. And it's going to rip all the way to that one. And this is 96. Yeah. Once it crossed 94, like I've been saying, it's on its way. I mean, it's right on cue. Can't make this shit up. Like, it's end of the month, end of the quarter. The Fed's doing their thing, right? Repo up the wazoo.
Oh man, repo at 1.3 trillion. And you know what's funny? I had to explain this to one of my homies earlier, and this guy's a fucking PhD on Wall Street. Okay, This is what I try to tell people. I'm not playing when I speak. I'm speaking straight money talk. So if you can't appreciate what's coming out this screen, then you just need to change the channel, because you're just missing the whole point. You have a person that literally schools people on Wall Street about what the fuck is going on because they don't even have a clue. And they're on Wall Street. And of course I am too, but that's beside the point. It's just that you can grasp the simplicity and the reality of the fact that just because somebody's somewhere doesn't mean they actually know what's going on. This is where furus come from.
Amen.
Okay? So look at what you have here, right? You had, just like Karim said earlier, this is the pre-fractal move that we saw here, where Bitcoin and the dollar went up prior to the dump, right? This is 2018, 2017. And this was basically that move in this scenario. And look what happened thereafter. Dollar dump. Look what happened here. Dollar dump. But then look what happened here.
Find the consolidation.
Right? And then rip. And now we're getting. Now, look, I think this is going to be way bigger than we probably presume. Because the pattern is just a little different. It's a lot more structured. It's not as weak as this one was. So this move might be more profound because we have to remember what's happening right now. There's a ton of inflation. Now, this is going to get a little macro-y, so bear with me. There's a lot of inflationary pressures that we've been talking about for a long. Now, you know what? Let's fucking look at them. Why not?
Yep. Because the most scariest thing is the Fed finally admitted that there is inflation. And remember, guys, they're always contrarian. They never admitted that before. And that's going to be their license to really rip that fucking thing, because now they're going to say, hey, look, we're getting 4 or 5% inflation per month. You've been talking shit about how we printed so much money, so we're going to do everybody a favor and we're going to raise rates and we're going to raise the job. So even though they're going to disguise it like, oh, we're doing everybody a favor because there's so much inflation. No. You bail out your friends, you do what you want to do, and now you want to rip this thing to keep it under control. And this is how they're going to squeeze the market back down, spank the Bitcoiners to keep them at bay, to say, hey, King Dollar is still reign. Because they will never let that thing go to trash completely, because they know that's their money printer. They're trying to protect their money printer.
That's it, man. And the fact of the matter is that when you look at this is crude oil. Now, what's crude oil? Crude oil is what you put in your tank. Crude oil is pretty much using everything in your house, because that's what plastic comes from, petroleum. So the cost of everything, even though the dollar's kind of going sideways, well, guess what? That shit is going up. Now let's keep going. That's just one thing. We already looked at the dollar, S&P, who gives a damn. Gold. Now let's talk about gold for a second, because I think it's important to talk about gold, because people don't understand how actual crypto is superior in terms of value sustainment. Gold is manipulated. Gold is not a free market. And the reason for that is because the Fed, and I've already shown this in previous streams multiple times, literally has it in their powers that they gave to themselves, because people here are just sheep and they don't read, that allows them to literally keep the market at whatever price they want. That's a fact. And I go over this. And I go over this multiple times, where I've gone over this, where I've shown the debt clock and what's the actual price with respect to the money supply and all of that. So all of these things, not new. This is what's been happening.
Using derivative, and then of course, all these paper contracts they manipulated left.
Copper. Look at what copper's done since the Bitcoin top. Look. What do you call that? That's a cost of living increase. You don't own copper. You buy shit that has copper in it.
And this is what people don't understand, that it's going to create this heavy deflationary event, and what I was talking about before about stagflation, because now you're getting a double negative, because shit has been printed off the wazoo, which has increased the cost of living, like Well said, immensely. And then now that cost of living, due to money printing, devaluation, is staying high, and at the same time your purchasing power is trending low. So you're getting a double negative. Thing costs more money that you don't have, and at the same time the value of your money, or the stuff that you used to get for like free, is getting now more and more expensive. So you're losing on both sides. So that's why you got to make sure to be prepared. And people are expecting, oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. They already did the printing. Now they're trying to do the tapering. You know what I mean? They tell you they print X amount per month, but they're taking more per month somewhere else that you're not seeing. And that's what Will's telling you. You got to understand how the plumbing works. They have multiple other pipes that they don't tell you about, that we have to go dig in and show you. All you hear about is how much they print. You don't hear about how much they take off the market simultaneously as they're printing money. That's why reverse repo is so powerful. Who cares about you printing $120 billion autopilot per month if you're going to repo $1 trillion? You see what I mean? The net of it is still going to be negative at the end of the month. Correct. And that's what the average person doesn't understand. It's about money flow. This is one of the primary reasons why I talked to you guys about DMI, because it allows you to see the shenanigans of the market maker. Oh, price went up, price went down, this candle, that. And then it allows you to see even through the wash trading. Because you'll be like, okay, from this time to that time, this day, that week, did more money came in or did more money came out? That's what this is about. Same thing with the Fed. You got to look at it like, okay, is the net printing more than what's the net that they're removing, or vice versa? When they were printing money like crazy and the dollar's being devalued to the wazoo and people were just doing all their malinvestment, pumping everything that moves, that's when the dollar was crashing. Now you see the opposite. They still print on autopilot, but you see the dollar strengthening. You see more market sell-off. You're seeing them talking about inflation, which they never admitted before, which is a signal to tell you they're just getting started to raise this rate. And they're going to incentivize other big investors to do the same thing, to buy into the dollar, to buy into their shitcoin, because, let me talk in hex term, they're going to increase the yield to incentivize the people to buy. You know what I mean? Wells, I don't know if you can pull up briefly even the 10-year yield.
Yeah,
for people to see. Because
10-year contract, actually, better that way, so they can look at the price. There you go. So when the price is up, that means the yield is down.
Exactly.
So now that the price is down, the yield is up.
Mm-hmm. So now, because they create all those incentives to get the behavior they want to see, and clearly they want this DXY to continue to rep, and they know, they're not stupid. They know a stronger dollar is going to create friction and start making things collapse. It's like you're purposely messing up the plumbing in the house, and then people are acting stupid and surprised, like, well, oh, we blow a pipe, and then all of a sudden there's leak everywhere in the house. When it's like, you knew. It's just like how you were showing way back when streams, how using the again the DXY and then the yield, how you could almost predict the 2008 crash in a way, 2009, because you could see the shenanigans in the bond markets months, almost year prior. And that's the key. We're trying to tell you, again, Quant game, macro, hey, this is what's going to happen because this is the pattern. The same way we told you way back in April and in February, hey, bear market, hey, look at this, look at that. October, this is what you're going to expect. Lo and behold, shit's happening. It's the same thing. Because we understand the mechanics, because we spend many hours, many hours learning from this shit, because we got tired of losing money. We got tired of not understanding what the fuck, you know what I mean? We always get the short end of the stick, you know what I mean? After a while, you get so pissed off, you want to learn, right?
100%. And that's what people don't understand. It's easy to come up here and just sound like a furu, but we're not doing that. We're doing the complete opposite of what the furus do. We're trying to show you how to make money because we don't need to tell you what to do. We already know what not to do. Very important, right? This is why we can talk about advanced concepts that you can't even comprehend because it's foreign. Because the furus don't know anything. They're just selling you bullshit. Because that's all they have. They don't have anything else. And this is a 9-day chart. This is a 9-day per candle chart.
And if you extend that funnel that you have created here, the horn, the broadening horn, you get to see that it's a big deal. It's about to cross that medium zone that you had before and re-enter that rectangle.
So this is 34 days per candle.
Look at this.
And the main thing that we're looking at here is the yield. So these trend lines that you're looking at right here that I have here, let's get rid of the dollar for a second because it looks a little confusing. This is the clearer picture.
Whew, look at this.
So this looks like it's about to skyrocket.
Oh, hell yeah, because he crossed that medium zone and he's back into the rectangle. This is what we've been saying. Like you've been saying that it's a control structure. It's clearly manipulated. Clearly. And then every now and then they lose control. That's that big ass rectangle. But they quickly, as soon as they bail out their friends and themselves, they quickly rip the thing back up. And you can see it's a bull flag. It's really consolidated because 34 days is a solid month or so. And now it's cracking up, ready to go touch that upper bound. I think if you continue the trend line for the top one, you get to see. We wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year it could be at 2%.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 2% right here. So yeah, you're not far off at all. I mean, that's literally 50 bips. I mean, on a bad day, that can happen.
And you guys need to understand, this is a multi-trillion-dollar market. That 2% is a big deal.
Hell
People
yeah.
are going to run for that thing. They're going to
Hell
sell
yeah.
all the other stuff because they still consider this garbage thing as, triple A,
So
premium,
let's talk
whatever.
about that. Yeah, let's talk about that because I talk about this all the time and people probably don't understand. When I
Mm.
mention high quality collateral, this is that high quality collateral. When you look at the legacy markets, this is just as good, if not better than cash because the yield is
Yep,
greater. So
exactly.
this is more important. This is what the Fed is taking from the market when you're looking at reverse repos primarily. Now, what happens is now over time, there's what is considered a dearth in the quantity of high quality collateral in the market, meaning there's not a lot. Because what's
Yep,
happening is that the Fed is taking it all because they are the
exactly.
so called buyer of last resort. Now, what does that mean?
And that's how they're
Well,
stealing your wealth.
correct. Correct. That's exactly how they're stealing your wealth. Because what's happening is that they got you thinking one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or yield down and look at what
Oh,
just happened.
inflation. Yeah,
They
exactly, man.
ram that shit up your ass. And what's gonna happen now is you're gonna get a pullback and then you're gonna get another rip. Because
Yep.
that's just how markets move.
And he's gonna play that old fractal again. And
Mm-hmm.
then hex again, for you guys to understand. Let me try to think. Another cool analogy, right? In hex term, it's like now they purposely make you think one way, and then they're drastically increasing the share rate, and then just gobbling all the t-shirts. But the thing is that they use fake money that they print themselves to buy the hex to create the t-shirt, and then they just keep gobbling the pie from inside. So you're getting less and less. You're not getting wealthy. And then
Never.
they're going to pump the price right back up again, crazy, and print more money. But at that time, it's going to be too late because they already control most of the pie, the t-shirt pool. So even when they pump the price back up, they become even
Let me do
more
it.
insanely wealthy, and you're getting less because they kick you out of the pool first, gobble the whole pool. I got to use analogy like that can hack so they can understand. They kick you out of the pool, they make you feel, oh, it's not going anywhere. Then they buy all the t-shirts, they control all the collateral, and then by the time they pump the price up, yeah, price go crazy up, but you're not in the market. You don't have any t-shirts. As a matter of fact, by the time you're trying to come back in, the t-shirt is 6 figures. So for you just to buy one, you need to basically sacrifice all you have. That's literally how insane this is. So I'm breaking down like that for you to understand what's about to happen because they always do the opposite. When they were saying, oh, everything's going to be bad, coronavirus, whatever. No, that was the time to pump because they're going to do the backstop. They're going to be the buyer last resort. But when they start telling you, hey, inflation is this and that, and they finally start to show some real numbers, even if we know it's fake, even when they say it's 5% inflation, it's probably more than that. But the fact that they admitted publicly that inflation is an issue is because they want to let you know we need a reason to rip this thing because we're about to destroy the market again. And we got the excuse, right? Hey, inflation is too high, right? We need to temper. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke, man. But yeah, protect yourself. So in this environment, remember, hex is king.
Yeah, just look at Nat Gas, right? Nat Gas is using a lot of things. It's gone up almost 200%. If not, let me see, maybe more. Is this it? Yeah.
Exactly. Well
Yep.
said. I like this comment here. It's a game you don't have to lose. Yep. Protect yourself.
150% just Nat Gas alone by itself.
Oof. That's insane.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
That's insane.
Exactly.
No wonder why the price, because no one do solar filter. No wonder why the price of electricity keeps skyrocketing. And again, this is how the little guy gets squeezed and the middle class feels even more poor because
Correct.
everything costs more money. You're not getting any raise, which means you feel the pain right away. What you used to be able to buy buys you less. Bills are higher. You go more into debt. And on top of that, the cost of borrowing is about to go higher.
100%. Now
Because
check
what
this out. Look
go
at corn. You got corn at 130% from August last summer to May this year. Now everything goes into fucking corn. Everything in America uses corn.
You need
Corn
bread.
syrup, high fructose corn syrup, all that shit is in everything you consume. Not me, but most average people. That's what they're
One
consuming.
of my favorite chocolate.
There you go. So, fact of the matter is, you're going to end up paying more for that little piece of chocolate, either by receiving less for what you're paying at the same price or by paying more for it.
Yep.
So, now this is again support area. How do I know? Well, hell, RSI hasn't let me down yet, and neither has MACD. We're just re-entering bullish territory. So now the market has set itself up by touching support, which has already been established back here, and we've just tested it, and now we're just about to rip through this again. Right? So it's just a matter of when, not if, because again, the cost of living only goes up.
Yep.
Because the fiat that's being printed only goes down. Or shall I say the value of the fiat that's being printed only goes down.
Yep.
Very critical to understand.
Cost of living goes up. You get less and less money. You don't get any raise. And the worst part is you start to own less and less.
100%. I mean, that's exactly what happens to everybody. Now, even the Bitcoin maxis know a little bit about that, don't they? Because they were laughing at Hex down here. And I was laughing at them. And so was everybody else. Same thing with the Ethereum folk.
Yeah. Who's laughing now?
Where'd the ETH go? Well, here's a little update for you, bro, in case you're still confused.
Remember that crocodile pattern? Way back when we told people we're going to get 100,000 plus Gwei. Remember they were laughing?
Yep.
Oh, look at where we are. 140,000 people.
Yeah, well, we're laughing now, so it's cool. We'll keep it moving.
Can't make this shit up. Talk about price going down. Go back to that thing. Let me laugh one more time. We're doing all-time high against Bitcoin and against Ethereum. We'll talk about price going down. What is wrong with you? And this is a daily chart. We literally did an all-time high just last week. And those are just little cool-off period. That's what we mean by up and then to the right. Just a little sideways action, cool off. We'll pick up the last guy from the last top, and then we're ready to go to the next top. That's it.
It's hilarious. Now, this is what Hex is looking like on my chart over here. And yeah, one hell of a crash, eh? Yeah, sure. After we just ripped, fuck. All right, let's just go to the most recent one.
I love that.
We literally went from 11 cents straight to 40 cents. What the hell is wrong with people?
And this is how those people get left behind. And look at it. If you go back previously, we've seen that patterns before. Literally, go back a little bit.
Yeah, that's what.
This is literally what we call the little bear trap. You think, oh, and then poof, and then it leaves you behind. And then after that big pump, literally in May, right? You see that big wick, red wick. After this pump, yep, right around here. Boom. This is what I'm thinking. Oh, look. And then you get left behind. And then thank you for the cheap hack. See you later.
Bye-bye.
You already got 3 of those. And the longer it does the W like that, the more violent the move is going to be because you have that consolidation pattern. And meanwhile, let's not forget we're getting daily payouts. This is what I mean. Even when Hex goes sideways, it's fucking bullish because the value of your yield that you're earning every day is literally what you see. So if you're getting $1,000 a day and the price doesn't move, that's $1,000 a day you didn't have the day before. That's insane. Some people need to wish for 10% move to make $1,000. You understand? You're getting that without price appreciation. You get price appreciation, it gets even more insane.
So yeah, this is just great stuff, man. Let me go to the chart says and get right into that. We've already gone through inflation. That was really much the biggest thing I kind of want to talk about tonight. So we need to understand cost of living, right? And then if you're a Hex seller, this is you. If you don't understand what's going on, straight up, just stare at the picture, understand that this is you, and just come to terms with it, because this is everybody else. This is everybody else. That's you. This is everybody else. That's you. Thanks. This is your brains on drugs. This is me, not on drugs, right? Along with everybody else that understands what's going on because we did the math. So don't be a victim. Now let's go with how an economy works. Any economy works, right? Whether we're talking about municipal all the way up to global, there's value creation, which is the private sector, 100%. And then there's a public sector, which is there to facilitate civilization. Now, we all know that's not true. And we all know it's not really 30%. It's typically 50%, depending on where you live, if not more, because not only do you get taxed on your income, you get taxed every time you move a bit of fiat, because that's the name of the game. The name of the game is to make you broke every time you transact, because you don't make enough as it is anyway. So it's a squeeze game on you at all times. And this is why I go into how any economy works. So people understand at the very base level that they're getting played every time they're interacting in fiat. The only way to win is by getting out of that system. It's not your system. You cannot control it, so you will always lose. It's very straightforward. Period. So now we get into market cap dominance for the top 100. And this was on September 12th, a couple of weeks ago. 9.79% of HEX versus the rest of the market. 9.69 a couple of days later. A week later, 11.5%. And now we're a little lower at 11.01. Well, everything else is getting wrecked.
Yep. And then, well, just 1 second, real quick. I want to address this comment. And thanks for the super shot. Sugar Zeus, you must be new here, but no, Hex actually launched in the bear market. Okay. We're excited, Hexicans, because we know what he will do in the bear market. So he has already proven that. But the cool thing is, you don't need to take my word for it. We have the receipt. You can go.
I can't see them. What's the comment? I can't see the comment.
No, it was a super chat. Yeah, this one. He must be new. But yeah,
hold on. Hex has never been. This guy's funny. You be all right, bro. You'll figure it out.
You'll be right,
it's cute, man. It's a cute comment. You figure it out. But next time, don't waste your money on that shit, though, man. Just send a comment in there. Straight up. You just threw that $10 away. You should have got some Hex, bro. So let's go into the first 655 days on a decentralized exchange for Hex. This has been Hex the whole time since inception. Okay. Yeah, this is Hex the whole time since inception. I don't really know what's complicated about this chart. Looks pretty straightforward to me. 650 days of straight performance in one direction. And this is with a Bitcoin bear market to boot, all up in your face right here.
Amazing.
So
the power math.
I don't understand what's confusing at all.
And you see the most beautiful thing where I'm smiling, you see how the separation, take a class, it start to really separate itself. Like I'm telling you, within about a year or two, the purple and the yellow gap is going to be wider. It might start looking like the yellow and the orange gap right now. It sounds crazy, but when we say stick a class, run the show, you guys are about to witness. It's happening live. It's just numbers going to get bigger and bigger fast.
Correct. So we got T-Shares index at a whopping 343,000. 343,000. 343,000. Can you hear me now? Do I need to get my Dylan on from Dave Chappelle show? Can you hear me?
That thing that you're messing around with. This is how much it could cost in the not so distant future.
Turn my volume up. That motherfuckers is too young to get the joke, but I feel you. 343,000. 343,000. Now we're gonna talk about Hex now. That was just the T-shares. Hex, 180,000. I don't even need to say the remaining digits because they're irrelevant. 180,000. 180,000. What bear market? What the fuck are you guys talking about? Like, yo, do the motherfucking math. When I got into Hex, the price was here, or the value on an index basis was here. Less than 5,000.
Yep.
180,000. 5,000. 180,000. 5,000. 343,000. What is confusing?
People still don't understand the number one value of Hex. You don't see it directly in the price chart. This is why Wells charts are so powerful. When I tell you guys in my interview, I'm getting 5-digit dollars per day. You don't see that in the price chart. Okay, price doesn't need to go up. It's just what the product does. I'm getting paid every day. I need you guys to drill that into your brain. This is what the index is showing you because it tracks all of that. That separation is insane. Just being in the bus is all you need to be. And this is what, if you understand that and you never sell the principal, you only do the interest, the price is irrelevant. Lower price means, oh, I can get a cheaper t-shirt. I can create a cheaper t-shirt, especially before snapshot. Are you fucking kidding me? Wake up. Wake up. For those of you asleep, wake up. I want you to build wealth.
Pretty much. ETH and Bitcoin at this point in time in their existence. Yeah.
Yeah. They're becoming less relevant. It's funny.
Irrelevant. Always has been. And that's the whole point. Always has been, bro. Because people are not looking at the math. Now let's get into this chart. This is Hex post big payday versus each Bitcoin halving. The respective dates are here, starting with the first one at the most far right, the second one, and then the most recent one, which happened last year in May 2020. Now Hex post big payday index. Now big payday was a singular event that is never going to occur again, because it's the equivalent of what Bitcoin does every 210,000 blocks. It just happened one time in Hex, and that's it. That's all you're getting. Now, the only other time you get that similar activity is when a stake ends. That's it. And if people don't sell that Hex, it's actually irrelevant, because there's no miner here selling Bitcoin on your head. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that at all, because we understand the system and how it works. So you don't have a series of miner entities literally minting or taking your value and dumping it on your head, thereby giving you this shit, which is eclipsed by Hex in 315 days. I mean, it was really eclipsed by Hex in 200 days, but whatever. I'm being generous and giving you an extra 115 because Bitcoin sucks so much. There's a reason Hex exists. People are just going to have to come to terms with it. It's not because Bitcoin is the best. It's because something else was required. Because Bitcoin fucking sucks. Ethereum fucking sucks. Everything else is a promise coin. Everything is a promise coin. Everything that you know outside of Hex is a promise coin. Just tattoo that on your forehead so you don't forget it, because it matters that much if you can't remember it. 8,000, 1,000, less than 1,000. And this is the most recent one, by the way.
Yep.
So this is how strong your Bitcoin is present day. Good luck to you all. T-shares versus Ethereum in dollar terms, and T-share versus Bitcoin in dollar terms. Magenta and orange respectively.
Up and to the right.
20% of a Bitcoin, 280% of an Ethereum.
Just let that sink in for a second. This is insane. Not too long ago, we were like, oh, remember just a couple months ago? Oh, 2-3%, 5%. Now it's only 20%, people. And guess what? The joke is, as we get more and more to the bear market, again, for the new guy, maybe there's a couple of you guys still out there. Listen up. It's very important. Like, it's going to accelerate this chart even more, because it's going down while we're standing steady or going higher, which means the percentage is going to accelerate, which means if you don't play chess and you play checkers, by the time you realize how valuable it is, you can even have a couple of Bitcoin and then you will buy Hex and you will barely make it to crap. You won't even get to become like anything interesting, because the price will be so high, because the other diamond handlers know what they own. We're just trying to give you a heads up before that epiphany hits you when Bitcoin is 30,000 or below and you realize, wow, let me go buy this Hex thing. And then it's like it already left the building. You know what I mean? And by the time you swap it, it's going to be like, no, it's not going to give you anything. That's why it's insane. See, shout out this comment here, which is good. He said, yeah, damn, last time I saw that, it was 7%. Yeah. And now it's 20%. By next week, it could be 30%. Because again, as Bitcoin continues to correct and Q4 starts, it's going to be insane. And this becomes the real game, product versus project. This is when the promise coin space really show itself and you realize the garbage that you own. And when they tell you, oh, remember when we told you that was a meme? And then the price had to crash, you'll be like, why is it going up? Because all those things get washed away. Some of those NFTs washed away. And then only those who are real product, especially paying yield in the bear market, are going to be the ones saving the day. And like Latin America Crypto says perfectly to Zeus, bro, like, where are you going to get 40% yield on your investment in a Bitcoin bear market? That's an important question, because that's the ultimate value proposition. It's literally just that simple. Well, let's continue. Just that simple.
Literally. Yeah, I mean, just look at this chart, man. I mean, seriously, I honestly don't understand what the hell people are looking at. I don't know what they're, I don't know, because if they don't know, they need to go back and figure it out, because it just doesn't make any sense. T-share market cap, $82.5 billion. There's only 60,000 stakers accounted for. Do the math. Could have been you. Price 39.27 cents, and this was a little while ago. I think we're probably a little lower now. Let me see. Oh, no, dip is gone. 40.27 cents. So there you go. Good luck.
Yeah.
Moving right along. Little bootleg hex stock to flow tracker. And I call it bootleg because we're not tracking anything. This is just really what's happening in real time. This is why we call it a tracker. APY 36.92%, which is a function of the coins staked versus the total coin supply in existence, not something that somebody's willing to pay you. There's no third parties here. It's just you in the contract. T-shirt rate. That's it. T-shirt rate presently 18,807.
It went up just today again.
Yes, sir.
Nice little spike we got.
Started at 10,000. Now it's at 88% higher.
Exactly. Thank you. I was just about to say that. 88%. And that's, guys, that's in just share rate. That's in hex.
Yeah, that's just in share rate. We ain't even talking about dollar
multiply that by the game, which is insane. And another thing that I'm seeing, right? Because fractal, my eyes just sees everything. Like, well, the W that we're shaping right now, it literally looks like the W we did right after big payday when people were just giving away hex for cheap. And then look at the run up after that.
It's gonna be fun, bro. It's gonna be fun. That's all I know.
It's literally $2 to $5 after that.
I really hope somebody just messes up and sells this shit ton of hex. Honestly,
dude, once we crack that 50 cent, we drop the video. It's a wrap.
I would love it, but I know it's not gonna happen. The best we can probably get is here, but probably not even that. The best we could probably get is here, because market structure has already been solidified at these levels. That's why prices tested, gone up, tested, gone up. And look, dips just keep getting small. This is the biggest dip we've had since here.
Because just like we learned, and we say many times, the longer it goes sideways, which is still bullish, because we just said many times, the daily yield is what's the number one value, which you're getting paid every day. But the longer it goes sideways, like a recoil, the more it's preparing to propel. Because people don't understand those long sideways times, whatever, it looks small like on the chart, but the price was very low back then. Like there was still like 5x move, 5x's, which means from where we are now, if we 5x roughly, it's $2. It's literally, like I said, I can see it, $2 hex. And when the move goes, it's always within a month. It's a 3 weeks pump, 2 to 3 weeks. Get left behind.
100%. Now, where does the T-share rate come from? Comes from dividing the dollar cost of a T-share by the dollar cost of 10,000 hex. And what you get is a value, which in this case would be 1.8807 something or another, and you would multiply that by the 10,000 base rate. And that's just how it works. And that's where this number comes from. Now, what happens over time is the reality is different, because what you're seeing in the market real time isn't going to be representative of what the actual share rate is. The actual share rate with respect to this, when I recorded it, is actually 19,021 hex per T-share. So that's what you paid for. But the market is giving you that. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is you're technically overpaying for a T-share. That's what that means. So if the market maybe doesn't understand this yet, maybe it doesn't, but go ahead, Karim.
Yeah, this is what's so powerful. Can you go back to that previous chart? Guys, thanks again. It's very important. What I love about this chart, I love so many charts that Wells has. This one also explain, I want to address again, because it's very important. The point we've been saying in the kind of earlier in the show, because this blue line is very, very important. This is a function of the system. It is a function of the discipline of the people using the system. And it's a testament proof mathematically of the work that we have done and are continuing to do. Let me explain. Before, as you can see, the blue keeps being very volatile. It's very hard to predict the forward T-share. Why is that? Early days, 1 billion hex being dropped every day. So it was very hard to forecast how many T-shares can we create, when we're going to stake and stake. There's a lot of volatility, right? But guess what? All of that energy, all of those hex got swallowed. All of those things got done. So the traders are no longer having the field day they used to have. Now it's really a staking game. The game is on, especially after big payday. That volatility started to be a little bit lower. And then clearly after that run up to the 5-10 cents, I think right around, what is it, day 518, roughly, the moment it becomes almost like a line, this is a message for those who didn't get the memo. Shit just got real. It's a staking game. It's a staking battle. You make a mistake, you confuse profit with the money printer, you make money. Like, like I'm telling you why this guy earlier, the 10 million, it's no big deal, because he should be smart enough to understand that money is not just gains, it's the money printer. If he sells it all, he will never be able to get into that position because the market is no longer forgiven like it used to be. And people are more and more disciplined. People are more and more trained. Hex is getting scarce by the day. Dips are being bought up very, very fast because there's always other people ready to scoop that up. And this is also a warning for you as a new person or middle of the pack, whatever it may be. If you want to move up in the rank, like I've been telling you, this is why when we watched that video that I did with Maddie, the 1 hour, to really understand what it takes. And like Wells told you guys, there's no freebie for nobody. Everybody got to play the game the right way. Big wallet, small wallet, it doesn't matter. We're all monetizing time. You do the right thing, you get rewarded by the system. You do the wrong thing, you get punished. It doesn't matter. You want the mad gains, you got to put in the time. And this is what Wells say, it's a function of time. Because now we have this whole thing streamlined. We're literally able to see the forward T-share rate, which is very powerful because from there, we can derive and start almost predicting what's going to cost what and when. Because we know also some of the big wallets, when they're going to end stake and what the share rate ratcheting is going to do. Obviously, there could be emergency end stake here and there, but you can clearly see the volatility of that blue line, which is very important. It's now a straight line, which means the system is on track. The rails of the train on autopilot, ready to go. Very, very important.
Critical. Because I think, now I haven't really broken this chart in detail, but this back here is a function of the loose liquidity that was existing in the system at the time.
Yes, sir.
There was no way in hell I could have shown this chart back then because it wouldn't make sense to people. It wouldn't make, exactly. It wouldn't make sense. So what you're seeing now is how all the liquidity was floating around the system to the point where the T-share rate was a gimme, right? If you were aware of how the system worked back then, you could literally have taken advantage anytime. Give me a second, guys.
No worries.
You could have literally taken advantage any time the T-share rate was down here below the actual, the forward T-share rate was actually below the T-share rate itself, because that's opportunity. That's you picking up cheap T-shares every single time. Now, what's happened is that the market's done flipped itself. Okay, it's flipped itself to the point where that value now is gone, because now people clearly understand what's going on in the system. Yep. And this is why when you're buying Hex and staking it, you're pretty much, you got to pay up. There's a premium now on that. Because people, this is what this is showing. A negative T-share basis is letting you know there's a premium on you paying up for a T-share because you're paying more than what the market is charging.
Yes, sir.
What does that tell you?
The diamond hands, people are learning.
You wait for a dip if you fucking want. That's what that's telling you.
Yep.
That's exactly what that's telling you. That's exactly what that's telling you. You wait
and again,
for
backed by math, no speculation, no like opium.
Hey,
this, that. No,
this isn't my data. This is the system's data. Sources right here. This doesn't say WhalesOnly anywhere.
And this is what has happened. Not like, oh, we think this, that. No, this is data points. Correct. This is why we speak with a certainty that we speak, because it's backed by math. We can remove the speculation. It doesn't matter which name it is or whether I own Hex or not. It's just, this is the facts.
That's it, baby. It's math provides clarity. I don't ever need to speak like I'm confused, because I'm not. If I don't know something, you're gonna know. Don't worry. I'm not afraid to not know, because all that means is I'm about to learn something. That's all. Nothing else. So look at that T-share rate, which is the magenta line here, and look at that blue line. That blue line is what what people are willing to pay for a T share at a certain point in time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is. So now people are constantly paying more for a T share than it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for that dip if you want. Now, the value proposition chart. What is this chart showing? This chart, the orange line, is letting us know how many hex every single T share has been given, paid out since inception. 2,815 hex since day one per T share. That's a lot of hex. That's a whole
Building
lot of
wealth, baby.
hex.
Building wealth.
Now,
Who
interestingly
needs to
enough,
trade when you get something like this, huh?
well, what's crazy is what this chart is doing with respect to the value proposition. Seems to kind of be following it. I don't know. Those dips people are waiting for, not so sure they're gonna see them. Looking a little far gone. I don't know. We'll see. A 50% move? I mean, I don't know, man.
They're confused. Like they think this is some type of prediction plan B stuff.
Yeah. I don't know where people are getting these ideas from.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
And again,
1 + 1 is 2. It's not fucking 5, and it's not a half. It's only 2.
and
It doesn't change just because you think it does, right?
Yep.
What the fuck? Like, again, I'm speaking based on math here. This is why I'm speaking, and I sound annoyed because I've been saying this shit for months. So the fact that people still are not towing the line with what the system does is crazy to me, and it makes me feel like I'm wasting my time. And I hate wasting my time. I don't need to do this. Don't. Payout per T-share sum line, 255,000% percent. Did you hear that? Percent. Okay, this is for being staked. This is just a T-shirt. This isn't talking about price appreciation now. We have never ever shown them together.
Savage.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And the beauty when you stake, because you never know when the big spikes will come. Literally, just a couple of days ago.
We're gonna get to that.
Mm-hmm.
So check this out, right? This is exactly why I have this on. Payout per T-share index. What do you see here? What you see here is upside volatility strictly cross time. This is a singular event, right? This was a singular event. This is never going to happen again.
Yeah.
This was big payday. This is never ever going to happen again. What could happen is a slow a slow move to the downside. That could happen, but this never going to happen again. Not possible. Very simple. That would mean 99% of the market is staked. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't imagine 99% of a market going in one day and staking, because that means basically the whole world is entering the system, and that's just not really possible.
And then funny enough, even if that happened, the bond math will kick the price high so much that your daily payout value will still be insane. You'll get less hex per day, but the value of that hex will be so expensive that you will actually earn more money per day. So, because this is what bond math does, and this is what bond market, as we get more and more adoption, we're making the pie bigger. We have abundant mindset, and this is why we're here. This is why the system is so good. The more you help people, the more you do the right thing, the more everybody else benefits, including yourself. That's why it's so good.
Beautiful thing. Most important, notice the moves to the downside. Where are they? Not here. Daily payout index. It's the same thing as the payout per T-share index, except that it's tracking the system's, entire system's monetary output in terms of hex. So again, upside volatility strictly. Where is the downside volatility? Non-existent, guys. So you keep waiting for that dip if you want. Can't help you. Now this chart, hex payout metrics, post big payday. We're strictly showing the data after this point in time. Payout per T-share, 5.742 hex, which is essentially the daily payout of 63.4 million hex divided by the total T-share count of 11,038,574 shares. 11 million trillion. So this is what's going on. The system is doing what it's supposed to do. Stakers are becoming more abundant, but be advised, there's not that many shares left to snatch up. Seems like there is, but there's not, because the system doesn't allow really for more than, I mean, for there to be 12 million hex or 12 million shares, that's actually not possible.
Yep.
Not
and
possible.
It's forever decreasing as the share rate constantly goes up.
Yep.
Because those stakes who are forever locked got sacrificed or in a way adjusted, they're never coming back. So you literally just left with whatever that's there. Taking average length is rising, which means even people earning interest are locking away for longer and longer, which add to the scarcity, and the share rate is going up higher and higher. So it's a beautiful thing.
100%. It's like the perfect storm. Right? Like
It
the
really
perfect
is.
storm. So now we're going to get into, yeah. I mean, that's what keeps it from dipping.
Yeah, but that's what they don't understand. That's what we are showing the map, because this is why the chart is so special, because they don't understand the superiority. Again, this is not like it's just that good. This is like math orgasm, It's just so good because it's so well designed.
So let's you know what? It's kind of good thing you said that, because this brings something to mind that we probably need to talk about now. Why is a boring product system with respect to math so important? It's what allows for consistency. It's what allows for people to understand what's going to happen in the future. It's what allows people to invest with some confidence.
Yes.
Because that's required in order to put money up. That's why people won't even these clown fools that supposedly have money won't even put $100 in the hex just to see how it works. Why? Because they're dumb. They don't actually know shit. That's why. And it might sound kind of fucked up to say, but hey, it is what it is. Because if they really had the smarts to understand how markets worked, they wouldn't be afraid to put $100 on hex and figure it out. It's so straightforward and simple. It's sad that I even have to say this, but it's the promised coin space. What can you expect? So again, this flat line is actually a positive thing. This flat line, even more positive, because this is people understanding how the system works and acting in accordance with that. And that's what you're seeing here, because what you're not seeing is downside dips, because the system doesn't work like that. The system is consistent, is designed to do one thing and one thing only. And that happens as a function of this. Now, expiring shares charts, there's usually 4 of these. And the reason is 4 because we like to just show the most recent snapshots of what we have going on. Now, this was a couple weeks ago, and as you guys can see, the line is jagged. Just pay attention to the curvature of this line, because the curvature of this line and the height of this line dictates the speed of the share rate and how it increases. And I've been saying this for months. It's always going to keep increasing at a higher rate because the staking is front loaded, right? The average is only 5.74 years or whatever, right? So the average basically comes out, what is it, 2021? Basically comes out to here, right? It basically comes out to right here, almost 3/4 of the way, right? Between.
It's insane because also if I did this quick math for fun, and obviously we stick it up because we have the data. If you take away literally the big stakes and the OA stakes, just to ratchet share every 2 weeks or whatever, just the actual user base, like staking average is almost like 10 years. It's insane.
That's funny.
Really, people again because we do the math, we understand how strong it actually truly is, and you combine that with what's going on and the simple fact that quick math that the total T share in the pool stays steady like that is powerful. It's a function of adoption too, because that means that we're keeping up with the 3.69 adoption. Because imagine ocean, right? And understanding that deep down the ocean, there's so much activity and movement going on because there's so many T-shares being destroyed, created, and old T-shares leaving the system. The reason why we get the big ratchet up share rate is because one big stake came out today, probably had some big payday added to that too. So, the guy with the 10 million, so that really pushed up the share rate. Because again, that was with the extra bonus. But then again, those stakes, by the time, let's say he restakes, he's losing 88% than what he used to have if he staked for the same time. You know what I mean? So now he has 2 choices. Either stake a bigger amount if some of the stuff wasn't staked, or has to stake for longer to compensate, to just maintain the number of T-shirts that he had. So this is also a function of the education we've been doing, because if we didn't do that, well, I wouldn't be surprised if we only had 9 million t-shirts in the pool. So the fact that we're staying like that is very powerful, because it's a balancing act between what's being burned and the new coming in, and staking for long term to get the bonus to trying to help them out, compensate. So it's amazing to see.
100%. Because people are gonna learn the hard way. This is what's driving the boat, even though this is what's gonna make you rich.
Yes.
Now, what I want people to pay attention to is the curvature of this line and how it smooths out over time, because that's a function of people understanding and adoption. Boom. Boom again. So now this is September. This is next month, October, and we're already pretty much at 45, 46% of the staking boat versus 15% for what's presently left between, the next couple of days.
Yes, sir.
So here is November, here is December, and here is January. Is that right? Yep. No, actually, this is January. That's December. November somewhere in here, and that's October.
The end of the month, dude. Pulse chain, snapshot, you name it, fireworks. And again, once we get that copy on the pulse chain, it's the liquidity is gonna be sucking even more. All those $200-$300 buys are gonna be able to come in. It's gonna be amazing to see. I mean, just me personally, I already know a bunch of people just waiting for that. So it's just gonna be amazing. Just not deal with the $50 bullshit fee with Ethereum. Oh my god,
it's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous.
It's gonna be another world.
It's gonna be another world. Exactly. I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, it's crazy because people just they'll see. I mean, we could say it a million times, but they'll see. So this is the all-time Hex versus ETH correlation, and what this chart is showing is that first thing, Hex is not correlated to Bitcoin. Period. It's not correlated to Ethereum. Period. That's what the zeros mean here. So just because it trades in tandem for 15 minutes or an hour doesn't mean it's correlated. So please stop saying that, because it's fucking not. It's not. Just stop it. Zero means zero. And this is every single day since Hex has been in existence up to today. And guess what? That number is still zero. That's number one. Number two, you have two axes on this chart. Okay? You have Hex on the X axis and then Ethereum and Bitcoin on the Y's. Right? For both. Okay? Bitcoin here, Hex here. Now, the most important thing to realize is that the price plots of Hex, right? All these dots, right? They're the XY plot of each return for each day for each pair. Ethereum and Hex on this chart, and Hex and Bitcoin on this chart. So if Hex is the x-axis and all these dots are primarily over here on the x-axis, then that means Hex is positively skewed. Now, this is the chart I was talking about earlier when I said as soon as a professional looks at this, or a person that's quantitatively adept, they're going to understand what's going on. They're not going to even need to look at any of the other charts because they're irrelevant.
Yeah.
Period. All these other charts you've seen, irrelevant. All the charts you're going to see after this, irrelevant. These are the most important charts in Hex. Period. Because they let you know your money stands alone and your money is always going to be treated right. Period. Yep. Look at where all the dots are.
That's why I can't buy anything else.
That's it. That's why I have people talking about diversification. What diversification? What else is there out there that performs like this? Let me know.
Yes, and then now counterparty risk, not gonna create problem. Deal with the law. Deal with all kinds of other bullshit. Not your key, not your crypto, and go on and on and on and on and on.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's never ending, right? And that's the whole point. It's never ending.
I'll be like, why don't you bring your finished product first?
Never ending. Yeah, exactly.
And then we can talk. And then we can
exactly.
So I don't need to worry about SEC and shit like that.
All this other dumb shit. Correct. Moving right along. Rolling correlations. The dollar cost of a T-share versus the dollar cost of Hex in days. That's a little error. I'll fix that. Price already is above that. 55-day correlation between the dollar cost of T-shares and Hex is at 1. Now, we've already explained to you at infinitum today that the T-share only goes up. Now, the share rate goes up in Hex terms, but guess what? That forces you to buy more Hex over time. So you keep waiting for that dip if you want to. I don't know how many other ways to say it, but it's just not something you do. because if it's not microscopic, you're not going to get it. All right, so here we have the price of Hex. This is basically like a dollar term chart. Is everything in dollar terms. You have the price of Hex in orange, the payout per T-share in magenta, and then the adjusted Hex value in yellow, which is just the sum of these two values. And the pink and yellow lines are pretty much just leading indicators because the price of Hex ultimately follows them anyway, right? I mean, we were at 30, 40 cents back in July, and I was telling people this is where we were going next before we stopped and went higher. And here we are. The next stop is $1, and the next stop is $2 after that, because this is a doubling system. Nothing to discuss further than that. So again, wait for the dips if you want. I don't know how many other ways to say it. And here's another reason why you don't wait for dips. This is the Hex price to earnings ratio. Now, this is the line or the chart or the metric that lets you know at the rate at which Hex is actually doubling. And based on this, right, this number tells you how quickly you make your money back. 17.42% of a year. That's what this number means.
It's insane. And then we have a great comment in the chat here briefly to speak to that. This guy here, shout out to him, John Cleese says, he said, technically speaking, that's why I sold all my Bitcoin, took a 50% loss, right? Put 100% of it in Hex and then triple my bag. See that? That
Sounds
means
like you won.
Right? Recover the 50% loss, then triple the bag. I mean, just you can't make this shit up. Like I had a friend literally like that. He had the lessons. It turns like, what are you doing? Like, come on. Boom. And then it was down like 40-some%. And then he put it in literally within a week, got the money back, and then the rest is 10x from the answer. Yeah. 10x plus now.
So that's a fact, right? Not an opinion. So here we got 17.42% of a year. You'll make your money back. And we'll tell you how many days those is in a little bit. Here we have the S&P 500 price to earnings ratio from the 1st of January, 1871 through the 1st of February, 2021. Now, I don't need to update this because it's irrelevant. The whole point of this chart is showing you the lowest point in history that we could find. 5.51x, meaning you were not getting your money back for 5.5 years. 17% of a year. What is that? Well, let's find out.
That's crazy. Love it.
Why ask when we can figure it out ourselves? All right. So we got 365 days in a year. Multiplied by 0.1742. Oh, look, 63 days and a half is a base doubling rate for Hex. Well, shit, how often do we double nowadays? What, about 45, 50 days?
Yeah, 45, 47, yeah. Because again, that's the beauty of a parabola. The doubling is getting shorter and shorter. Because this is just a trend on the overall. Because back in the days, we didn't double for like 6 months or 3-4 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
now
but this chart is supposed to be payday, right? So this doubling rate was clearly higher back then, or should I say
way
slower.
And after that, that's and now I wouldn't be surprised if it starts to just creep up and then be better and better. So
correct. I mean,
it's gonna be amazing.
Just look at what it's doing, right? It's doing that right now.
Think about it. Right on the snapshot, you're getting a double. That count too. We're gonna get some shenanigans, and people are gonna take profits, whatever. But the point of the matter is, it will give you another double, pretty much.
100%. And we just told you how quickly, 60 days. So keep waiting for that dip. All right. Again, this is where we are, somewhere in here, and this is where we're going. So have fun selling, guys. Hex holders versus Hex.
I like this.
350,000. And just keep on the price up. Now, look, I'm gonna just let you guys know right now. This is the bottom. So if you didn't get your buys in the day, whatever. I don't know what to tell you. Stakers versus Hex.
Oof, love it.
Wait for the dip if you want. Wait for the dip if you want. This is what happens when price touches that line. Not a coincidence, folks. Just straight math. And here we have how the APY works for Hex. If 10% of the supply is staked, you get
I'm
back. If you stake 10% of the supply, 37% basically is your output, right? 36.9%. We're a little bit below that. And as we saw earlier, the APY is right on that. But that's because the interest in the system is now so great, right? When you go to graphx.rocks, you'll see the current APY. And as you guys can see, let me minimize this crap. This shit looks super. Oh, it's not even giving a reading. Alrighty then. There we go. 36.84% because we have
really nice.
What is 9.871% stake. That's pretty high.
Yep.
Very high.
TVL is over 25 bill, which is awesome. And he gravitated between that and 30. I mean, it's just amazing. Just amazing.
Basic math.
7600 T-share, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Take that chance now, because in the blink of an eye, it could be back to 9K again. That's a $15.
No. The next move is 14, 15K.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm just saying bigger than 9, meaning like within a couple of days. Like again, this testness announcement within 48 hours, once it goes around, people know what's up.
Oh man.
And the weekend is arriving. I mean, what do you think is gonna happen? And then we're gonna announce the snapshot. What do you think is gonna happen? Again, play chess, not checkers.
Yeah, I don't know what dip these people are talking about. It's crazy.
From here to next week, literally
pretty much all the charts I got though, guys. I'm done. This is it. So.
Yeah, legend. Love it. Like between here and next week, you could easily have a $2,000-$3,000 difference in T-shirt price.
100%.
So what are you waiting for? It makes no sense. It's like
an invitation, and we already invited them, so I don't even know.
Yes.
Oh,
and get your Vegas ticket too, so you get.
Oh yeah, while you're at it.
Yeah, while you're at it.
So you can see that we're actually real people.
Right, Maddie. We gotta mention that.
We're not bots.
Yeah, we're not.
Yes,
fools,
we're not bots. We're real people.
No fools, no bots, no robots. Just regular guys doing regular shit. That's it.
Amen. Yeah, and if you need a wallet, let me know. Shout out in the comments. So. Take up. Let's remove all the excuse. Let's get people turned up, and then hopefully soon with Pulse Chain, even lower fees, so we can just help even more and more people. So that's awesome. Yeah, and Maddie, you can close us out.
Yeah, man, we're good to go, baby.
Stake wisely, my friends.
Amen.
Oh.